Third time's the charm, hopefully, here at George Sparky Anderson Field. For those that haven't been paying attention or haven't been able to see, the Saints, they took a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning. Bottom of the first inning, we don't know who or when we turned off, but Austin Carrillo at first base after a bunt single. Anson Arrows, the catcher, now up to the plate. And Arrows going to ground one towards the third base side, fielded by Callan. The throw across, and Arrows beats out the potential double play. Just get the fielder's choice at second. Carrillo's out there. Arrows at first. Believe that was the first pitch to Arrows, is it?
It was the first pitch to Arrows.
Yes.
And that was a good job by Anson Arrows, but a better job by Austin Carrillo. He was sprinting down the line. He knew he wasn't going to get to the second base bag before the throw came in. And it was a hard slide into second base. Didn't make contact, but it did make Jackson Cobb at the second base bag have a difficult throw over to first, and he was able to, or he allowed Anson to be able to get to first safely.
So Arrows at first, one out. First pitch to Brendan Bobo misses away, 1-0 the count. The man on the mound for the Saints, that's going to be Dominic DiRado. DiRado this season, 2-2 with a 3.31 ERA. He's pitched in 9 games. This is only his second start of the season. He's pitched 19 innings on the year. Second pitch to Bobo below the knees, 2-0 the count now. Has 14 strikeouts in those 19 innings. Only has 8 walks, though. So a high strikeout, a little bit, not as many walks. 19 hits, though, in 19 innings. Bobo now rips one towards the first base side. McMurray bobbled it, tried to backpick it, gets it, picks up the ball, and steps on first, and Bobo's retired.
And so I want to harp back to the fielder's choice by Anson Arrows because he got out on the play, but his on-base percentage is at .507. That fielder's choice puts him on base even more. His on-base percentage continues to rise. Throughout the entire season he's been with the team, and he has an on-base percentage of over 500. That is a ridiculous statistic.
So now Grant Smith, the cleanup hitter, he comes in with the tying run in scoring position and Anson Arrows. 2 outs in the inning, though. Carrillo, he had a bunt single to start things out, but he was out at second after the Arrows fielder's choice, and then the ground out by Brendan Bobo at first base. First pitch to Smith, misses inside, 1-0 the count. Grant Smith, he's been dealing with a couple of injuries, a finger injury as well as an arm injury. Battled through the injuries yesterday in the game against the Riptide, had a nice double in that performance as well as now having a 1-0 count. Smith fouls it off. Count even now, 1-1. DiRado on the mound, his last time out, he gave up 5 runs on 7 hits. Did have 3 strikeouts, though, but an unsuccessful day in 3 innings pitched and a loss against the Academy Barons. That was July 21st. So quite the long time between his last performance and here for the lefty. The 1-1 pitch, looked at, called a strike, and Smith's now down 1-2.
And Smith has been down in the count a lot, especially in the recent weeks. He has watched a lot of pitches to get behind, trying to get deep in counts. Yesterday he was successful with 2 strikes. He only struck out once and got a few hits. But today trying to be even more aggressive at the plate and not go down on strikes.
The 1-2. Smith fights it off, stays alive. 5th pitch of the at-bat incoming after that was the 4th one. Smith had 2 RBIs yesterday. in the win against the Riptide. That was a huge win. Keeps the Oaks alive for playoff contention. They need to win today, and they need the Foresters to beat the Riptide today for a chance for the Oaks to go to Lincoln. 1-2 pitch. Curveball outside, got him looking, and that'll do it for the bottom of the first inning. So just one hit for Austin Carrillo on the bunt to first base side. We head to the second, 1-0 the score. You are listening to the Conejo Oaks on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Top of the second inning, 1-0, the Arroyo Seco Saints lead over your Conejo Oaks. Bo Willis, Brandon Boning, and Jackson Cobb, the 7, 8, and 9 hole hitters coming up for the Saints, facing off against Wiersma. First pitch to Bo Willis, off speed, misses, 1-0. And Wiersma, he's had a rough couple of outings this season, but he's battled back after that injury. He's been a lot more impressive as of late. Only one run allowed so far, but did get one strikeout in the inning. This one skied in the air towards shallow right field. Foreman giving chase. Backs up a little bit, makes the catch, and Bo Willis is retired.
Yeah, and Bo Willis, he's just been cold as of late. Coming into today, a 4-game hitless streak with that flyout. He's 0 for his last 12.
So now Brandon Boning, the shortstop, coming up to the plate. He's a defensive player. Is batting .280 on the year. He's raised that average consistently throughout. Was hitting under .250 at one point, but his average has raised 30 points up to .280. Had a 2-for-4 day yesterday against the Foresters, a 2-for-5 day against the Riptide 2 days ago, and a 2-for-4 day against the Barons 3 days ago. First pitch to Boning, he skies it in foul territory towards the first base side, out of play. 0-1 the count to Boning, the shortstop. Boning has 33 hits on the year. 12 of them have been doubles. One was a triple, but no home runs for the right-handed hitter. Goes to Cal State Northridge, just in the valley, not too far from here in Thousand Oaks. The 0-1 pitch. Slider misses away. Count even 1-1. Wiersma, the man on the mound, currently undecided where he's going to be going to college. Originally recruited out of high school to go to UC Santa Barbara, but this past year he dual enrolled between there and Ventura College, pitched at Ventura College because of the COVID year, as the 1-1 pitch is grounded towards the left side, fielded by Melhoff. A long throw across the diamond, a stretch from Bobo. Out. The umpire calls him out. It was a long call, long decision, but Boning is retired.
That's just a really good play by both Bobo and Melhoff right there. The ability to throw it across the diamond, and for Brendan Bobo, the ability to stretch to get the runner out. It's a really good tandem between the corner infielders.
So 2 outs on 5 pitches for Wiersma. Jackson Cobb coming up to the plate. So Wiersma currently looking at other places, thinking about a couple of different schools, but right now undecided. First pitch misses, 1-0. But for Wiersma, it's not necessarily about the baseball, it's more about the academics. See, Wiersma is a very academic-focused man. He's wanted to be a doctor ever since the 8th grade, and he's always been working towards that goal, really considering medical school and considering a school that suits his academic needs. This one's ground to the right side, fielded by Smith, throw over to first, and a 1-2-3 inning for Wiersma on 7 pitches. We head to the bottom of the second, 1-0 the score. The Oaks, they're coming up to bat. You are listening to the Conejo Oaks on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Bottom of the second inning, Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. 1-0, the Arroyo Seco Saints, they lead over your Conejo Oaks. TJ Foreman, Raul Sandoval, Greg Melhoff due up for the Oaks. The 5, 6, and 7-hole hitters due to face off against the left-hander and Dominic Dorado. Dorado allowed 1 hit in the first inning. That was to Austin Creo on a bunt single. But 1 runner left in scoring position in Anson Arrows after he advanced after a fielder's choice. Foreman fouls off the first pitch to him, 0-1 the count. TJ Foreman in the lineup today after missing yesterday's day with a back injury. Said he's about 80% better here today and wanted to play in such a crucial game for the Oaks.
Yeah, he told me yesterday, even though he did have the back injury, that today he was going to play no matter what if it was a consequential game.
Yep, told me the same thing. 1-1 the count now to Foreman after the second pitch misses below the knees. Quite the competitor Foreman is, but battling through that back injury sustained against the San Luis Obispo Blues after he had a miraculous catch right at the wall, slammed right into it. Swings and misses, foul tipped actually, on the 1-1 pitch. Count now 1-2 to Foreman. Caught the ball, slammed into the wall, tried to flip it to Sandoval. The ball rolled on the ground. They called it a double on the play, but Foreman did get credited with the catch, but he was out of the game after that. The Oaks lost the game 6-3 to the Blues. The 1-2 to Foreman. He grounds it up the middle, gets past the diving Boning shortstop, and Foreman's aboard with the single.
And that's just a really good piece of hitting by TJ Foreman. He swung at 2 pitches that I didn't think were great for him, both of them outside part of the plate. He likes those inside pitches, got one that was low and inside, and instead of pulling it hard, he was able to barrel it and get it right back up the middle. So a really good piece of 2-strike hitting for TJ Foreman. He shortened up his swing when he got 2 strikes on him and got himself on first base.
It's now coming up to the plate, Raul Sandoval, the center fielder. Sandoval was the player of the game yesterday after he hit a home run over the 400 sign in dead center field. Hardest hit ball of the season for Sandoval, who had been slumping all season. First pitch to him bounces in, 1-0 the count. Sandoval's numbers on the year, only 170 batting average, so below the Mendoza line, and has 40 strikeouts overall. But the 1 home run yesterday meant a lot to him. 1-0, Sandoval skies one in the air, drifting towards right field. Cowden going back at the track. Another bomb for Raul Sandoval. The Oaks take the lead. It's 2-0.
And Raul Sandoval, it is 2-1, but
2-1,
Raul
yeah.
Sandoval, he knows you put a fly ball in right field, it's going to carry at Cal Lutheran, and he got all of that Cal Lutheran wind. It helped him out, and now he has 2 home runs in his last 3 plate appearances.
Wow, yeah, no, that one kept me by surprise. It looked like he was flying it out, but the wind carried the ball, and, man, it goes towards right field. 2-1 the score. My apologies. Got a little bit too excited, but, man, what a shot by Raul Sandoval.
And so the Oaks, what they need to do today is they need to win and hope for an Orange County Riptide loss.
First pitch to Melhoff, swing and a miss.
And so Orange County, they're going up against the Santa Barbara Foresters. The Foresters have won 13 straight games. So as long as the Foresters keep that streak alive and the Oaks win today, then the Oaks in a playoff position, but they have to do their part first.
The 0-1 to Melhoff, inside, 1-1 the count. So, Sandoval, the 2-run shot, his second home run of the season. And, man, that's a huge hit for him. The Oaks take the lead in a must-win game for Conejo. The 1-1 pitch to Melhoff hits him on the back. It was a curveball that got away from Dorado, and now a runner on. The first 3 batters have reached.
And a really good inning to start out for the Oaks here in the second. And the Oaks right now have been passing the bat and riding off momentum over the last 2 games better than I've seen them all season long. Typically, we've seen the Oaks this season not have great situational hitting. And when they've had runs come across in bunches and innings, it's normally 3 at the most. Yesterday, they were able to capitalize on a big inning in the bottom of the 6th and then do the same thing in the bottom of the 8th. And now here in the bottom of the 2nd, it looks like they're going to have another big inning because 3 consecutive runners have gotten on base. We normally see breaks in those stretches, not over the last few days for the Oaks.
First pitch to Hunter Call, taken for a strike, 0-1 the count. Going back to the home run by Sandoval, it is a lefty's ballpark normally, but Sandoval, the right-handed hitter, went opposite field because of the wind here at Cal Lutheran. And Sandoval, he always denies he has pop, but, you know, a second home run, both of them have been towering. I think that Sandoval has a little bit of pop on his bat. The 0-1 to Call, fouled off back to the backstop. 0-2 the count now to the left fielder.
And it's so great to see Raul hitting the ball well. And that pitch he drove opposite way. That might have been the first or second ball that we've seen Raul Sandoval drive the opposite way this entire season. He had one to right center field that went off the wall, and then that home run to dead center. But he's had a new plate approach and looks like a new baseball player over the last few days, and it's been paying dividends for him at the plate.
The 0-2 to Call, he check swung. It went off his bat and into foul territory. We'll do the 0-2 again. 4th pitch of the at-bat coming up. So whatever Raul Sandoval's been doing to improve his swing, he says he's been doing it all week, but the last 2 days, the results are starting to pay off. And the Oaks, they're continuing with this inning. The 0-2 pitch to Call. Looks at and misses below the knees. 1-2 the count now to Call on the 4th pitch to him. Melhoff to first after he was hit by a pitch. Still nobody out. 3 hits in the game for the Oaks so far. Carrillo had an infield single in the first. The 1-2 to Call. Swing and a miss. Gets past the catcher. But no, actually they're going to call it a foul ball. Call looked at it. Looked like he was taking off towards first. He did not, and they do call it foul.
Yeah, Hunter Call definitely knew he fouled that pitch off because he wasn't running out of the box. And you know Hunter Call is going to be sprinting out of the box on a third strike that's in the dirt. So I trusted that Hunter Call got a little bit of wood on that bat. And Hunter Call knows he did, and he's going to have to reset in the box.
Call had 2 singles yesterday, as well as an RBI and a walk. The 1-2 to him. Looks at inside, and now the count's even 2-2.
And Hunter Call, he has a really good on-base percentage. It's not quite Antonero's good, but it's pretty darn close. A .486 on-base percentage on the season. That's 70 plate appearances this year. 19 walks on the season for Hunter Call.
Can walk a lot. The pitch in. He grounds it towards the left side. Fielding it as Cowley. Throws the second for 1. The throw to first, and they're not going to get Call. So Melhoff out at second for the first out of the inning. A fielder's choice to call. Runner on first, now 1 out.
And that is the second time already this game where we've seen a 5-4 fielder's choice. Anson Arrows grounded into it in the first inning, and now Hunter Call does the same thing here in the second.
So 16 pitches in the inning for Dorado. He only had 11 pitches and got 3 outs in the first. Now only 1 out here in the second. The 9-hole hitter, JT Naviak, the shortstop, playing here today. Call goes on the first pitch. The pitch misses away. The throw from Willis into second. They call him safe, and Call has stolen second base and puts a runner in scoring position for the Oaks.
And that is a fantastic jump from Hunter Call. Off a left-handed pitcher, the throw down from Willis was right on the money, and the tag by Cobb was applied well. But Hunter Call showed off the speed down the line, and he had a fantastic jump to get into second base.
So 1-0 the count to Naviak. The pitch from Dorado. Naviak showed bunt, pulled it back. It's called a strike anyways. 1-1 the count. Naviak played in yesterday's game, but left with an injury after he grounded a ball out. He was in a lot of pain with his right forearm, it looked like. A little bit surprised I saw him in the lineup today, but seemed to be okay enough to be playing, he said. And so 1-1 the count. Runner on second and Call. The pitch. Swing and a miss from Naviak, 1-2 the count.
And today he has a sleeve on that right arm. That's been the arm that's been bothering him. So he has a...
Well, he's had a sleeve on his right arm consistently throughout the year.
Yes, but he yesterday just had some KT tape over that arm and had it bare. Today, he's wearing the sleeve as a little bit extra protection.
1-2 the count to the shortstop in Naviak. Call at second. Cobb, the second baseman, holding him there. Call's going to go on the pitch. Naviak skies it high in the air, and Call's going to have to go back if he wants to not be double up.
He lost the ball.
Losing the ball, and it's going to drop. Naviak's heading to second. A mishap in the outfield, and what probably should have been caught was a skied out ball that the sun helped the Oaks.
Yeah, and that counts as a double for JT Naviak. He'll take it.
Yeah, why not? You know, why not? You saw Brendan Bobo yesterday bunting and stealing a bag. Why not a reliable outfielder in Cowden losing the ball in the sun?
It was Castillo who actually lost the ball in the sun, the center fielder.
Yeah, but Cowden picked it up. He was closest to it.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Cowden had to pick it up because it should have been the ball that Castillo caught.
But
it was Castillo's ball. It was in shallow right center field, but that's the center fielder's ball. Castillo, if he would have read it, should have been the one to catch that ball. Cowden was playing close to the line. There's a big gap in right center field. That was Castillo's ball the entire way. If he finds it, he catches it.
Looked at by Carrillo, called a strike. Nevertheless, the ball dropped. So Call goes to third. He did not have to tag back. He was going to third on the pitch, then ran back to second. Then the ball dropped, and he headed to third. Naviak into second, and now 2 runners in scoring position for the leadoff man in Austin Carrillo, who's already 1 for 1 on the day. Carrillo looks at a pitch. It's called a strike, and he's now down 0-2. Carrillo had the bunt single in the last inning. He was then out at second after Anson Arrows grounded into the fielder's choice. And now in a big spot here. 2-1 the score. The Oaks there leading after the Raul Sandoval 2-run shot earlier in this inning. The 0-2 inside to Carrillo. It almost brushed him. Did not. 1-2 the count now.
I just had a bit of a scare up here in the booth. My chair just broke. I almost fell out of it. I almost fell straight backwards.
Right on. So 1-2 the count to Carrillo. The pitch. Carrillo slaps it to left field. That's going to get through. Call comes in to score. 3-1 the score. Naviak to third. Carrillo an RBI single. He's 2 for 2, and the Oaks extend the lead.
And a really nice seeing eye single right there for Austin Carrillo. Pitch on the outside part of the plate. He's just trying to put a ground ball in play to potentially score a run. And with the infield in, it just squirted right past Cowley and Boning into the outfield. And that is just a really good job of putting your bat on the ball by Austin Carrillo.
So now runners at the corner. Still only 1 out in the inning. That out was a fielder's choice play that got Greg Melhoff at second. Anson Arrows, the catcher, at the dish. First pitch to him. Fouled off. 0-1 the count. So Carrillo at first has some speed in a corner situation. You got to think he's going to take off in the next couple of pitches. Does have 8 stolen bases on the year. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball bounced towards the left side from Arrows. Coming in is Boning, the shortstop, the throw to first. Arrows beats out the throw. 1 run comes in, and Naviak 4-1 the score.
And this is just a fantastic display of small ball right now by the Conejo Oaks. Scratch, claw, cheat during any run you can. And a ball that gets lost in the outfield puts Naviak aboard. Austin Carrillo gets through on a weak ground ball. And an even weaker chopper from Anson Arrows allows him on first base after it couldn't be fielded cleanly and thrown to first fast enough to beat out one of the fastest catchers in the CCL.
So now Carrillo at second, Arrows at first. Brendan Bobo, the first baseman, at the plate. 1 out in the inning, 4-1 the score. Pitch from Dorado. Bobo skies one high and deep.
He's got to straighten that out.
That
one was killed. I think that went to the street.
It did.
That might have gone past the parking lot. That is in the back row of the parking lot. There's no way. I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit that far.
I mean, it's foul.
It's foul, but oh my goodness.
0-1 the count after the long foul ball by Bobo. The pitch from Dorado. Golfed at, gets past Willis. Heading to second is Arrows. Heading to third is Carrillo. And now 2 runners in scoring position, but an 0-2 count to Brendan Bobo.
And that's a really good bounce-back pitch from Dorado because Bobo dialed up Dorado, and you could tell. So Bobo was feeling confident at the plate. He thinks he can hit anything as far as he just hit that ball. So you knew that Brendan Bobo was probably swinging at that next pitch. He did, but a really smart pitch location from Dorado to put it in the dirt.
Bobo had 2 home runs 3 games ago against the Foresters. Looking for one here. 2 runners in scoring position. The pitch in, misses away, and now 1-2 the count to Bobo. Bobo's first time up, he grounded out to the first baseman and Jake McMurray. That was an unassisted play that McMurray had a little bit of trouble with. He bobbled it a couple times, but was able to get the ball in time to first base to get out Bobo. That was the second out of the first inning. The 1-2 pitch. Bobo grounds it to McMurray, the first baseman. He taps on first, fires home, sliding in safely is Carrillo. An RBI ground out by Brendan Bobo, and now the lead is 5-1.
And Brendan Bobo, you'll sacrifice that every single day of the week. Every run counts in this game, and getting RBIs is king. Brendan Bobo is the king of RBIs this season. He leads the Oaks and is almost he's doubling up the next closest guy. It's not even close in terms of the runs batted in on the Oaks team, and Brendan Bobo right there did just enough to pick up another run batted in. That's the 5th run in this inning. The Oaks doing a tremendous job of just continuing to pass the baton.
So 5 runs in the inning. The 9th hitter of the inning, and Grant Smith swings at the first pitch, fouls it away, 0-1 the count. So the Oaks, they've batted around the order to Smith. TJ Foreman, the guy on deck, he led off the inning with a single. He was the first run in the inning, and now Grant Smith, runner on third, and Anson Arrows, 2 outs. The 0-1 pitch, Smith takes it. It's a ball, 1-1 the count now. Grant Smith struck out looking on the 5th pitch to him in the first. That ended the inning. Now has a chance to extend the inning here in the second. The 1-1 pitch. Smith rips a single to left field. Coming in to score is Arrows. The lead is now 6-1.
And the Oaks want this win, and it's going to take big hits like that one from Grant Smith. It's going to take big innings like the ones that the Oaks are putting together here to get the win today. Arroyo Seco is one of the better teams in the CCL. Right now, the Oaks, they are putting it to Dominic Dorado.
And now a meeting happening at the mound. There is action happening in the Saints bullpen, but the Saints, they were leading 1-0 coming here into the bottom of the second inning. And since then, the Oaks, they've scored 6 runs.
Dominic Dorado, he's been fantastic all season. His last start was poor. He had 5 earned runs in 3 innings pitched against Academy. But in the 8 appearances before that, he allowed just 2 earned runs. So Dominic Dorado fading a little bit down the stretch towards the end of the CCL season. The loss against Academy on July 21st, that was his last appearance. And now a 6-run second inning as the Oaks take the lead. And they're not done yet. TJ Foreman, he already batted in this inning. He's trying to keep it going.
The 10th batter of the inning for the Oaks, 6-1 the score. The Oaks, they had an 8-run inning yesterday against the Riptide when they were down 5-1. Now they were down 1-0, and they've scored 6 runs. Ryan goes to fix his chair.
It's not going to work. I think this chair is long gone. Put it in the graveyard.
Put in the lefty. Runner goes on the first pitch. The throw to second from Willis gets past the second baseman in Cobb.
And Grant Smith might be a little bit shaken up right there. It looked like he was going to go for a pop-up slide. He slipped on the bag, and Coach Solis is going to go check on Smith. He's clutching that left ankle.
So Smith at second after the stolen base. The pitch was called a strike to Foreman. Solis now talking with the umpire, it looks like. He's not checking on Grant Smith.
And that might be a little bit of interference on Jackson Cobb that he might be arguing, because Smith might have made contact with the second baseman when he tried to pop up. And it looks like Smith is okay. He's not clutching that ankle anymore. I think he was just rubbing it out a little bit, made a little bit of contact on the way down. So he seems fine. But Coach Solis might be talking about some contact between Grant Smith and Jackson Cobb.
So everything squared away. 0-1 the count to Foreman. Smith at second after the stolen base. Another runner in scoring position for the Oaks. 6-1 the score, 6 runs in the inning so far.
I'm disappointed. This was a good chair.
All right. Second pitch to Foreman. It's fouled off. 0-2 the count. So Foreman, he led off the inning with a single. That was towards the right center field. That got through. Sandoval, the man on deck, he hit a home run in this inning. That scored Foreman. And now Foreman batting for the second time, the 10th batter of the inning. Oh, 2 the count. The pitch from Dorado. Foreman's going to ground it towards Cobb, the second baseman. He fields a high chopper. Foreman beats it out. Yeah, you said close play, and it was, and Foreman beat out the throw. You know, he says he's 80%, but his speed is still there. Runners at the corners now for the Oaks.
Yeah, I don't think running into a wall is going to affect your speed. TJ Foreman, he's booking it down the line. High choppers and infield singles. The Oaks will take it all. It hasn't been super hard contact in this inning, but what should have been a fly out by JT Naviak dropped for a hit. Austin Carrillo, a seeing eye single. Anson Arrows, a slow chopper that he beat out on the infield. Now TJ Foreman, the exact same thing.
Foreman goes. Sandoval swings, and this one's headed towards the right center field gap. Foreman's digging for 3. He's being stopped there. Sandoval a single. A run comes in, and Smith, it's 7-1.
And Raul Sandoval is a changed man at the plate. He is batting out of his mind. It has been a different 2 days for Raul Sandoval than the start of the season. And just what a fantastic transformation that it's been. He's looking for his pitches. When he's getting it, he's putting it in play. He's not trying to do too much. He knows he has the natural power. And Raul Sandoval is just seeing the ball so incredibly well when his plate discipline hasn't been there all year.
First pitch to Melhoff, misses, 1-0 the count. So what an inning for Raul Sandoval. A 2 RBI, 2-run shot over the right field wall, and then a single that scores Grant Smith for the 7th run of the inning. Melhoff swings and misses. The count's now even, 1-1.
And I'm so happy for Raul right now because you could see the potential throughout the entire season. He had a game where he had 2 doubles right up against the wall. And you could see that if he just pieced it together, just made small adjustments at the plate, he could be one heck of a player, and he has showed it so far.
Pitch to Melhoff, called a strike. Sandoval headed for second. He steals it without a throw, and now 2 runners in scoring position for the lefty and Melhoff. Melhoff, he first came up in this inning, and he was hit by a pitch. He was out at second on a fielder's choice play. One of the only batters to reach in this inning to not score a run. Melhoff now skies one in the infield. Coming over is Boning and Cobb. Boning calls him off. The inning is over after Boning catches it, but not before the Oaks can hang 7 runs on the Saints. We head to the third. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Top of the third inning, Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you.
A little bit tired after a long run. Had to go down to the field and back in the half inning. It was difficult.
A little bit out of breath. Tommy Castillo at the plate. First pitch to him, a curveball inside from Wiersma. 1-0 the count. Wiersma, he's been attacking with that off-speed pitch initially. A lot of first pitch off-speeds, a lot of sliders and curveballs. Now a 1-0 pitch to Castillo. About to be on its way. Here it is. Called for a strike, 1-1 the count. Castillo, his first time up, he had a 1-1 count as well. He singled, then stole second base. He came around to score, and now his team's trailing 7-1. Pitch from Wiersma, inside, 2-1 the count. So Castillo, the center fielder today, he's only played in 8 games with the Saints. He fouls off another one.
Yeah, he's a new addition into the lineup against the Oaks. We haven't seen him yet this season, so it's going to be really interesting to see what he can do at the plate based on his performances against the other teams. He is pretty darn good, and he already started off with a pretty good hit and to lead off the first inning.
Yeah, he's had a hit in every game he's played. This is his 9th game as he chops one foul, 5 pitches in the at-bat, 6th one incoming. So he's played 8 games so far. He had 11 hits in those 8 games, now has 12 hits in 9 games played with the single here today in the first. In his last 4 games, he had 2 hits in 3 of them, including 2 hits yesterday against the Forcers in the 1-4 loss. Wiersma throws a pitch that got away from him, got past Arrows the catcher, and now the count is full 3-2.
And so Wiersma, he's already let one batter go after being ahead in the count. That was Josh Cowden. Another full count here to Tommy Castillo. Can he get out of this at-bat?
Payoff pitch. This one's grounded up the middle. Naviak, the shortstop, fields it on a chop. The throw to first gets Castillo. A 6-3 ground out, and one is gone here in the third.
And that is a really good play by JT Naviak. A slow chopper up the middle. As a shortstop, you have a tendency to speed up your motion when that happens, and the throw can be errant. JT Naviak, he knew that he had to speed up his motion, but he trusted the arm strength, and that is what he brings from across the diamond. Talking to his dad a few weeks ago, says he throws 94 miles per hour as a top speed from across the diamond at shortstop.
First pitch to Connor Bradshaw here in the third, misses 1-0 the count. Bradshaw, his first time up was in the first. He saw 4 pitches in that bat, got behind 1 and 2 before striking out swinging. Now has a 1-0 count here in the third. 1 out after the ground out by Castillo. The pitch from Wiersma, slider inside to the lefty, misses, and now 2-0 the count.
And so the slider in Wiersma's last start, it was working really well. Today it hasn't been as pristine, but he's still going back to it and still trying to use it. And against a lefty-heavy lineup, it's going to be a little more difficult because it's going to run inside to them.
Pitch is now 3-0, and that's exactly right. I was talking to Wiersma before the game, and he said that his slider's really, really good against righties. It's not as good to lefties because it does cut inside. Sometimes has that backdoor slider capability, but he's a lot more stronger towards right-handed hitters. He said that his changeup, though, really good against lefties if it's working. 4-pitch walk to Bradshaw, though, as the 4th pitch is a fastball that runs away from
No
Wiersma.
pitches were working in that at-bat.
Yeah, there it is. So runner at first now after the walk by Bradshaw, 1 out in the inning. Drew Cowley, the third baseman, coming up to the plate. His team's trailing by 6. The Oaks, they scored 7 runs in the bottom of the second inning. It was a strong offensive performance. First pitch to Cowley, inside, 1-0 the count. Cowley, his first time up, he singled. That advanced Castillo over to third. He was left stranded at second, though. Now 1-0 the count here. Infield shifted towards the right. The pitch to Cowley. Inside, and now Wiersma, he's thrown 6 straight balls.
Yeah, it's important for him after he got ahead to Castillo, then the full count was worked. Now 4 straight balls to Bradshaw, 2 consecutive to Cowley. Location.
The pitch to Cowley misses away, and now 3-0 the count. So 7 straight balls for Wiersma, and that's going to prompt a meeting with Anson Arrows, trying to calm him down a little bit.
Yeah, and a few times he just hasn't followed through, whether it be his fastball or his changeup. He's left it a little bit into that right-handed batter's box and a little bit too far high. That has been where he's been missing predominantly over the last few at-bats, so he's got to make sure to follow through, not be scared of the zone, and get those pitches located well.
Wiersma had a 1-2-3 inning in the second on only 7 pitches. Got Bo Willis, Brandon Boning, and Jackson Cobb to all ground out except for Willis, who flew out. And now a 4-pitch walk to Cowley.
And he missed the zone right there, but that was a way better pitch. He was able to follow through and maybe a little bit of overextension on the follow-through right there as he pulled it inside to the left-handed batter, but he fixed the mistake. I presume to this next batter, especially with a right-hander coming to the plate, he's going to be able to locate his pitches better than when he threw back-to-back walks to lefties.
So now Jake McMurray, the first baseman, the cleanup man for the Saints. He comes up with 2 runners on after back-to-back 4-pitch walks. First pitch to the first baseman, called for a strike, and that breaks the streak of 8 straight balls. 0-1 the count to McMurray. McMurray, his first time up, he grounded out to JT Naviak, the shortstop. He was the second out of the first inning, now up for the second time today. Bradshaw at second, Cowley at first. The 0-1 pitch. This one's fouled off over the dugout of the Saints. And now Wiersma, after starting behind to each of the previous batters, now ahead 0-2.
Yeah, and it's the right-handed batters. Wiersma's more comfortable, at least from what I see, facing against right-handed batters because his best pitch is that slider, and he's able to use it more comfortably against the right-handers. And his first two pitches are to set up the slider, where against the left-handed batter, he doesn't have anything to set up.
The 0-2 tried to get him to chase with a fastball up and high. It went over the head of McMurray, the batter, and now 1-2 the count.
It's a little bit easier as a pitcher when you have a pitch plan going into an at-bat, and with a pitch that is a big strikeout pitch like that slider that he has, it is going to be better for him to face off against righties.
The 1-2, McMurray chopper to the left side. Melhoff fields it, flips it to second. Smith there for one out. He throws to third. No play at first as McMurray legged out the fielder's choice play, but Cowley out at second, Bradshaw to third, and runners on the corners, 2 outs.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. He threw the slider right there, and he got a roll over. So that's exactly what he was planning on doing to the right-handed batter. Expect throughout the rest of the day for Wiersma, for the left-handers, to be a little bit more effective against him than the right-handers will be because he is just more comfortable facing off against those right-handed batters.
So Wiersma had 24 pitches in the first inning, only 7 pitches on a 1-2-3 inning in the second, and now this will be his 20th pitch of the inning to Josh Cowden, the right fielder. First pitch misses away, 1-0 the count. Cowden, his first time up, he had a full count, fouled off a pitch with 2 strikes, but was able to walk. Had great plate discipline, made it to first, but was left stranded there after Jack Vernon, the man on deck, flew out to end the inning. Second pitch, looked at, misses the zone, the umpire says, outside, and now 2-0 the count to Cowden, the right fielder.
And again, a lefty where Wiersma gets behind in the count.
The 2-0 inside actually called a strike. 2-1 the count. So the runner at first in McMurray, he was making a little bit of noise. No throw was over. 2-1 the count. McMurray, he stayed at first. At third is Bradshaw. 2 outs in the inning. Infield shifted towards the right. Naviak, he's standing just to the left of the second base bag. Pitch called for a strike inside. Now the count's even 2-2. So Wiersma, after getting behind 2-0, fires back with back-to-back pitches inside part of the plate to Cowden, and the count's even. Cowden still looking for his first hit in the past 5 games that he's played. This one's fouled off. 5 pitches in the at-bat, 6-1 incoming, a 2-2 count to Cowden. Cowden's last hit came against the Conejo Hoax here July 23rd. He had 2 hits in that performance, including the home run we talked about. So a hot day for him then, but since then, he's cooled off. The 2-2 inside misses. Wiersma wanted to go back inside after he worked back, and now 6 pitches in this bat, a full count, exactly the same situation that Cowden had his last time up in the first.
Yeah, and it's almost the exact same pitch sequencing in terms of balls and strikes that he had in that inning as well.
So, full count, 2 outs, runners on the corners. The Oaks, they're leading 7-1. They scored 7 runs in the bottom of the second. Wiersma looking to get out of the inning without surrendering another run. Had a 1-2-3 inning last inning. The payoff pitch. This one, Scott in the air, foul territory. It's slicing out a play, and it falls right on the dugout of the Oaks. And we'll do the payoff pitch again, full count still.
And a good thing that wasn't in fair territory or in the field of play because Greg Melhoff didn't see it. He couldn't track it off the bat. And so if it was a pitch and a ball that would have landed in play that Melhoff could have caught, then as a pitcher, Wiersma feels a little bit like he could have been out of the inning. That can lead to a bit of an unraveling and a disastrous feeling. But because it landed on top of the dugout, mentally for a pitcher, it's okay. That was just a foul ball. It was out of play. I got to go back and attack.
The 8th pitch of the at-bat to Cowden. Swing and a miss. Wiersma, his second strikeout of the day. He gets out of the inning without surrendering a run, and we head to the bottom of the third. 7-1 the score. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here in the third inning. The Oaks, they're leading 7-1 the score. They scored 7 runs in the bottom of the second inning. And now Hunter Call, JT Naviak, and Austin Carrillo, the 8, 9, and 1-hole hitters due up. First pitch to Call, he grounds it to the left side, fielded by Cowley, the third baseman. The throw across the diamond, and Call's retired on the first pitch to him. A ground out to Cowley, and 1 pitch, 1 out. Heck of a start in this inning for the Saints. So now JT Naviak, the shortstop, he's going to come up to the plate. It's the second time coming up to the plate.
And it's a new pitcher on the mound. Corey Shepard out of Azusa Pacific University takes over in the third inning.
Pitch is called to strike to Naviak, 0 on the count, so that'll do it for Dorado after the 7-run second. The Oaks, they had 11 batters come up to the plate in that inning. As now Naviak bunts towards the first base side. It's grounding, and it goes just foul.
And I'm not sure why Jake McMurray didn't pick up that ball in fair territory. He let that ball go foul, and he had an easy out on JT Naviak.
Shepard this season 1-0 with a 7-0 or 7.20 ERA. He's played in 4 games on the season. His first game was July 18th against the Blues. He threw 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, but had 1 strikeout. Only faced the 4 batters. His last time out, it was against the Academy Barons. He got the decision in that game. He pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, and 1 walk. But he got the win in the decision. It was a 6-5 victory for the Saints. Saints actually ended up walking off that game, which explains the decision for Shepard. Naviak grounds it to the left side, fielded by Boning, the shortstop. The throw across the diamond, and Naviak's retired on a ground out, back-to-back ground outs by Colin Naviak, and 2 are gone.
And so after an explosive second inning, the Oaks, they haven't been able to produce the base runners. But right now for the Oaks, it's just about executing good at-bats and not letting Corey Shepard get in a rhythm. Because right now it's going to have to be for the Arroyo Seco Saints that they're going to have to go through their entire pen because their starter got knocked out in the second inning. So they're going to have to use a lot of arms today. They have a big gap into playoffs, this being the last game of the regular season. But if they do have a reliever that's on a roll, he will pitch a few innings. You can't let that happen if you're the Oaks. Attack the pitchers early and force them to use as many guns in their pen as possible.
First pitch to Carrillo misses, 1-0 the count. Those 2 runs that Shepard gave up against the Barons were his only 2 runs he had given up all season. And now Carrillo at the plate. Pitch, Carrillo slaps it to the left side. Boning, the shortstop, can't field it. It goes between his legs. Carrillo to first on the air by Boning.
And so Austin Carrillo, he's just doing absolutely everything he can to get on base. A weak ground ball that got through the infield in the second, and now an error that gets through in the sixth. In the first, it was a bunt single. So Austin Carrillo, 3 for 3 on base today, but has not made hard contact today. I was joking with him. We met in the snack shack earlier. I said, I'm feeling a cycle day. And he said, it's going to be a big day. He feels confident. He felt good. And so far, hasn't been high power, but he hasn't needed it.
So now Anson Arrows, the catcher at the plate. First pitch to him, misses high and away, 1-0 the count. I mean, not the cycle so far, but 3 for 3 on base percentage for Carrillo as well as an RBI. I mean, that's successful through your first 3 at-bats.
Absolutely. I'm sure he'll take that any day of the week.
So Anson Arrows, who's up for the 3rd time today, he's reached both times he's come to the plate, once on a fielder's choice and once by an RBI single. This time he sends it high and deep towards the fence, going back off the wall, heading to third and digging around to score is Carrillo. Arrows stops at second, an RBI double for the catcher, and now the Oaks, they lead 8-1.
And so that's exactly what happens. You extend the inning off of an error, the inning keeps going, and it's just clutch hitting on clutch hitting on clutch hitting. Anson Arrows, in his last 8 at-bats, has reached base every single time.
Yeah, you know, his mom from Auburn, California, has come down and visited and reached base all 5 times yesterday. 3 for 3 to start here. I mean, you got to think playing in front of his mom has to have a little bit to do that.
Well, he didn't have the same type of impact when his dad was in town, so I'm not sure that bodes well for Pete Arrows.
Yeah, I don't know. His mom may be the lucky charm that the Oaks, they need. Luckily, Arrows, he's from Auburn, California, as the first pitch to Brendan Bobo misses away, 1-0 the count. That's really, really close to Lincoln, California, where the playoffs are. So if the Oaks make the playoffs, hopefully that good luck charm can continue up in the playoffs.
Anson's confident that if the Oaks do make the playoffs, there will be a huge fan section for the Oaks that travel down to Lincoln.
The 1-0 to Bobo, swing and a miss at a ball golfed dead away, 1-1. And absolutely, you got to think that Arrows, being from Auburn, it's a smallish town, about 10,000 people, that he's going to get a lot of fan support from that crowd to come out and support the Conejo Oaks on their road trip if they make the playoffs, but they're going to have to win today and get a little bit of help from the Foresters. 1-1 the count to Brendan Bobo. The pitch high. 2-1 the count. Bobo today, he's grounded out to first base twice, both 3 unassisted plays by Jake McMurray. Did have an RBI, though, in that last ground out.
And in that last at-bat as well, he hit the farthest ball that I think I have ever seen. It just happened to be a little bit foul.
A little bit foul, very foul. Bobo skies one high in the air, slicing towards foul territory, and drops right in front of Cowley.
And I'm not sure what Drew Cowley was doing. He was tracking the ball and then looked at the catcher, Willis, as the ball bounced right in front of him. He didn't lose the ball. He saw it the entire way.
It's the second time the Saints have had trouble with a fly ball. Saw it during JT Naviak's double in the second.
And I think what happened there is that Willis, the catcher, was yelling that the ball was out of play. And so Callie was tracking it, watching it, and he was distracted by the catcher telling him that he didn't have a chance at the ball. The ball was out of play.
So now 2-2 the count to Brendan Bobo. Runner on second in Anson Arrows. 2 outs. The pitch. Bobo slices one, foul.
He has these pitchers numbered. He's just got to slow it down a little bit and straighten it out.
Yeah, way in front of that one, but he roped it to right field. Just about 10 feet foul.
If that ball gets put in play anywhere, even at a defender, it might take their head off. If it hits their glove, it might take their glove off of their hand.
So we'll do the 2-2 again. 6th pitch of the at-bat incoming to Bobo. Shepard looks back towards second, now looks to the plate. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. Bobo's now 0 for 3 on the day. But the Oaks, they add another run on the RBI double by Anson Arrows, and we head to the 4th inning. 8-1 the score. The Oaks, they're winning in a must-win game here in the CCL's last regular season game. You are listening to the Conejo Oaks on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Top of the 4th inning, 8-1 the score. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano. And Ryan, for the final time in this regular season, it is your turn for play-by-play for the next 3 innings.
Getting a little nostalgic as Joe Wiersma delivers the first pitch as a ball to Jag Burden. Count 1-0. Burden is last time up. He flew out to center field on an 0-2 count. He's another lefty in what is a lefty-heavy lineup for the Arroyo Seco Saints, at least at the top. Bouncing ball to second base. Smith tries to stab at it, deflects off his glove into center field, and a leadoff single for Jag Burden.
Yeah, and the infield right there was shifted because of the left-handed pull hitter in Burden. And Smith, he was running towards his right side against his glove side, tried to backhand it. It was just in front of his glove and into the outfield, and Burden's aboard with a single.
So that brings up Bo Willis. He's a right-hander. So expect Wiersma to bring some of the breaking balls, some of the sliders. It's his most effective pitch. The runner at first base is Jag Burden. So far today, Willis flew out to right field. Pickoff over to Burden at first. Brings him back. He dives in safely. Burden this season, he has 2 stolen bases. He's also been caught stealing once. So not a successful stolen base ratio. Not a huge threat to steal this year either. First pitch, back pick, Bobo the tag, not in time. A close play at first base, but not in time to get Jag Burden. The count 0-1 as that pitch was called to a strike for Bo Willis.
Yeah, that was a really close play right there. I thought they might have gotten him. We have yet to see it yet this season Arrow's back pick a man, but he's had a couple of close ones. That one probably one of his closest.
And I think we did see one earlier in the season, if I remember correctly, but he's definitely tried it a lot. He's been close. The runner's going, breaking ball, Arrows, the throw down on a rope in time. Oh, the umpire calls him safe. The throw beat him to the bag, but the slide got him in there safely.
Ooh, that was another close one. I thought he was out, but the umpire, a better vantage point right there. He calls him safe, and so that's the call on the field. The runner in scoring position now for the Saints.
2-1 the count to Bo Willis. He is actually 1-2. The scoreboard just changed here at Cal Lutheran, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's what I had on my sheet. Wiersma, he's going over signs with ants and arrows. And now it's 0-2. So the scoreboard here at Cal Lutheran is wrong.
Well, the umpire, he initially said 1-2, and then he changed his mind and said, now he's saying 1-1.
Now he's saying 1-1. Coach Solis is coming out, and Solis is asking if that was a ball. On the throwdown, it looked like it was a breaking ball that ended up pretty close to the middle of the plate, but the count, according to the home plate umpires, 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Oaks don't get the runner caught stealing and don't get the strike called. This one spoiled out of play, the count 1-2. So the strike is given right back to Bo Willis as he flies into foul territory behind the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wiersma already today with 2 strikeouts. Both of those have come to lefty hitters. Breaking ball, the throw down to third, bouncing off the runner. And trying to trot home. It's going to be a play at the plate. Melhoff can't throw it in time. Stealing the bases is Jack Burden, and he just thieved a run away from the Oaks. It's 8-2.
Yeah, and that throw from Arrows, it wasn't his best throw today. He's had a couple of nice throws. That one, it just pegged Burden on the outside of his hip, it looked like. Went just beyond the third base side. It was a little bit of a chase from Melhoff, and Burden enough time to truck home as the throw from Melhoff was just late.
2 balls, 2 strikes, now no one on. The 2-2 pitch misses inside, so after going up 1 ball and 2 strikes, Wiersma has now let Bo Willis back into the count. He's already done this twice today. He did it to Josh Cowden in the first inning, ended up letting a walk come through. Did it to Tommy Castillo in the third, and he ended up getting a ground out. Now gives a walk to Bo Willis on 3 straight balls. He's had a little bit of trouble locating those pitches to right-handed batters, and once again right there, after going ahead in the count, Wiersma allows a base runner.
Yeah, and he got ahead, and there was a couple of close plays on throwouts and a couple of close calls. It looked like that one curveball might have been a strike, but the umpire called it a ball. That was a pitch that had a lot of confusion, and so it was an unusual at bat for Wiersma. Nevertheless, he had a couple of pitches to make up for it, got behind, and then a walk. His second one with a full count.
Brandon Boning, the final righty in the lineup in the 8-hole for the Saints, excuse me.
You've done that a couple of times.
They're wearing blue. They're wearing dark blue. They're very similar teams to me. The count 0-1 as he ropes one out of play.
I think the atmosphere in Slow is a lot different than the atmosphere at Arroyo Seco.
We're not in Slow or Arroyo Seco.
Yeah, but that's the difference to me.
No balls, 1 strike. Brandon Boning, he's already grounded out today. Way out in front, bounces one into the padding. So the count, no balls, 2 strikes as Brandon Boning has a .277 batting average on the year. That's been increased a little bit as of late. He's had multiple hits in his last 3 games that he's appeared in. Wiersma looking for his sign. A big gap between Grant Smith and Brendan Bobo. The pitch, bouncing ball to third base and outside of the bag. The count remains at 0-2. And so with the defensive alignment of the Oaks, they play shaded to a pull side hitter. Grant Smith leaves a big gap in between him and Brendan Bobo, who's holding the runner on at first base. No balls, 2 strikes. The 4th pitch of the at-bat misses low and away. Arrows goes down to block, and the count is 1-2. And Brandon Boning, that shift is probably good against him. His spray chart on the season, which isn't calculated for every game in the CCL, but the games it is calculated, every single hit has gone to the left side of the second base bag. The 1-2, breaking ball, diving off the plate. Boning gets a piece, and he stays alive. Brandon Boning not going down without a fight. He has 33 strikeouts on the season, but he's doing his best not to make it 34.
Yeah, and he just fouling off a couple of pitches. He's fouled off 2 with 2 strikes, and that's something that, if you're in a situation where your team's down by 6 runs in an 8-2 game, and you have nobody out in the inning and 1 run's already come in, you need to just keep the inning alive like the Oaks did in the second. And right now, fouling off pitches, that's a great way to do that, especially with the runner at first.
1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll do it again. This pitch misses low and away. Wiersma tried to pump a fastball on the low and outside corner, but it ran below the knees, and the count is 2-2. The runner at first base is Bo Willis. Already 1 run has come across in the inning after a leadoff single and 2 stolen bases, as well as advancing from third to home after the ball got away from Greg Melhoff. So he thefted 3 bags. Swing and a miss. Joe Wiersma, his 3rd strikeout of the day. A filthy curveball to get out of the first batter in the inning. A long at-bat against Brandon Boning. But Boning goes back to the dugout, dragging his bat.
Yeah, and that was a 7-pitch battle. It was a 2-2 count. Boning fouling off a couple of pitches, staying alive. Wiersma, he wanted to get him. Finally did get him on an off-speed pitch. And already in this inning, 15 pitches from Wiersma, but getting that first out, crucial, and now you have a chance to turn 2 and get out of the inning. With Jackson Cobb, a lefty in the plate, you have a shift going on in the runner at first, and Willis.
Brings up the 9-hole Jackson Cobb. Check swing. It catches the zone anyways. So strike called on the pitch. No balls and 1 strike to Jackson Cobb. He grounded out to Grant Smith the last time he came to the plate. Cobb, a left-handed hitter. 5 lefties featured in this lineup. Fouls one into the screen. Out of play. The count 0-2. And so the left-handed batters are the ones where Wiersma has a little bit more trouble. He has to go more to that curveball, more to the changeup rather than the slider, which we've identified as his best pitch. He's quickly ahead to Jackson Cobb. The 0-2. Ground ball up the middle. Naviak flipped to Smith. The relay to first, not in time. A fielder's choice gets the lead runner, and there's 2 outs in the inning.
And I was almost able to call it, but they did go to second, got the fielder's choice play after the ground out by Cobb. But Cobb, a little bit of speed, able to leg it out, get on first with the fielder's choice. But a great out for the Oaks. Naviak, a nice little flip to Smith. A little bit of a closer play than we've seen on a couple of fielder's choices. That time, Cobb got there, in there safely. And now 2 outs for Wiersma, and really just got to focus on this batter right now.
It's the top of the order, and it's Tommy Castillo, who has been troublesome all day for Wiersma. Led off the game with a single. Came around to score the first run for the Saints. First pitch in this at-bat, skied high into shallow center field. Sandoval sprinting in. Foreman also on the run, calls him off, and makes the play. So TJ Foreman a long run, showcasing the speed as Wiersma gets out of the inning with only giving up a single run off 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th inning when we come back on the Oaks live stream. Ryan Milano and Knight Ureski join you in the season finale. The third inning was the finale for Corey Shepard. He only had one inning pitched in this game. He gave up one run through 5 batters. 2 2-out base runners ended up costing him the 8th run of the game for the Saints. Tommy Hannon comes in relief, throws a first pitch ball to Grant Smith. The count is 1-0. Tommy Hannon has been phenomenal all season, the most relied upon reliever in the pen for the Saints, as the 1-0 catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. The count 1-1. Hannon has been used as a long reliever. His longest outing came in 4 innings pitched against the Academy Barons, where he only gave up 2 hits and didn't allow a run, as Smith, he skies one out of play. Count 1-2. And so Hannon, with a 1.05 ERA, has been fantastic all season. And if the Saints are going to come back in this one, they need to stop the bleeding and shut down the Oaks offense. If Hannon can't do it, then no one can, as the 1-2 catches Smith looking. It's the second looking K for Grant Smith of the day, and he goes down on 4 pitches.
Yeah, and Hannon, I mean, he just strikes out a lot of batters. And, you know, going back to that game against the Barons, I know it was a blowout, it was 18-7, but he came in and it was a lead for the Barons. It was 2-0 going into that point, or excuse me, 6-2 going into that inning that he came out, and so he really stopped the damage, didn't allow a single run through 6 innings, and then right after that, the Saints exploded for 15 runs after that to his name.
TJ Foreman watches a slider run off the plate. The count is 1-0. TJ so far today has 2 singles and a run scored. Both of those hits came in a monstrous second inning. Foreman cuts through the pitch, and he grimaced a little bit after he swung at that. Maybe it's pain in his back, or maybe he just didn't like that he offered at a pitch that he thought was outside. Nonetheless, the count is 1-1. Something to monitor. The Oaks are banged up. Foreman coming off of a back injury. Lines one to shortstop. Gets past the glove of Boning. Foreman, he takes a big round around first. He's digging for 2. The throw into Cobb. Not in time. TJ Foreman, aggressive base running, takes second base, and he is 3 for 3 on the day. His presence has been needed in the Oaks lineup, and he puts a runner in scoring position with 1 down.
And man, TJ Foreman, he just stays hot. Lines one just past the shortstop in Boning, and right there, TJ Foreman, he's been so hot. In the past 7 days, he's batting .400 entering this game, and already 3 for 3 today. He's been the hottest bat on this Oaks team in the past week, and just stays hot here again today, battling with that injury. It's just so impressive to see.
So Raul Sandoval, he comes to the plate. He was player of the game yesterday. He is already 2 for 2 today with a home run. Foreman stealing third base, a throw from Willis. Not in time. Foreman under the tag, gets the stolen bag, and the Ventura College stolen base leader continues to theft bags.
And he's just done it all season. I mean, he's the fastest guy in the Oaks team. He might be the fastest player in the CCL. I'd say he is. I don't know.
They should have done that. I mean, TJ didn't get the invitation to the showcase game. He played great. He was right on the bubble of whether he deserved a spot or not, as Sandoval watches the second ball of the count miss high. But if he was in the showcase game, I know they ran 60-yard dashes. At least the pitchers did. I'm not sure if the position players did. But if TJ Foreman was in that 60-yard dash, I'm not sure if anyone is topping him. The 2-0, Sandoval watches the pitch below the knees. Raul Sandoval ahead in the count, 3-0.
What do you think about potentially like the MLB All-Star game someday featuring the fastest runner? Like in the NHL All-Star Showcase, they have the fastest skater.
3-0, Sandoval, a 4-pitch walk. The plate discipline for Raul Sandoval. That's his 3rd walk in the past 2 days. He had 6 walks on the entire season coming into that stretch. So just I need to showcase Raul Sandoval because he's just been fantastic. But I think that, to your question, being more fun and more marketable is exactly what every sport needs. And putting the fastest guy, if Tim LeCastro was in the All-Star game as Sandoval stealing second. This one skied high into left field. Sandoval's going to have to trek back. Foreman's going to tag from third. The throw down the line is not going to be in time to get TJ Foreman. He doesn't slide. The throw was close. Preferably you want to slide there from Foreman. He does not get down, but he does take a run. It's 9-2.
Yeah, you'd prefer him to slide right there, but, Foreman just trusts his legs, and honestly, props to the left fielder, Jack Burden. That was a great throw from him, made it a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but a sac fly from Melhoff scores another run. The Oaks get a run back after surrendering a run, and, it's just 9-2, heck of a start here in the fourth.
And to close out on that conversation, yes, I want Tim LeCastro either in the All-Star game or racing against other fast players. Check swing, the runner in Sandoval's going, the throw down, in time to get him. The inning is over as Sandoval is caught stealing, but not after the Oaks scratch a run across after the double by TJ Foreman. No runners left on in the inning. We head to the top of the fifth. The Oaks have a 7-run lead on the Oaks live stream. Joseph Wiersma, he's out for his 5th inning of work. He's gone through the first 4 in 77 pitches. His pitch count has been a little bit high throughout the day, but there is no action in the pen for the Conejo Oaks. Wiersma facing off against Connor Bradshaw for the 3rd time. Swing and a miss. That pitch was running arm side off the plate, and the changeup, or what looked like the changeup, was able to get a strike. So the count is 0-1. Bradshaw, he struck out on 4 pitches, but he's also walked on 4 pitches. Quickly behind 0-2, so looking a lot like the first at-bat for Connor Bradshaw as Wiersma able to find the zone back-to-back times. No balls, 2 strikes to Bradshaw. Wiersma, he has already 3 Ks on the day. Connor Bradshaw, he has 28 strikeouts on the season in CCL play. Watches a ball, so the count is 1-2. It's the highest number in CCL play. He has 33 strikeouts on the season. That is tied with Brendan Boning for the most strikeouts over the entire year.
In conference play?
In all play. So in conference play, Bradshaw is the leader in the Saints in strikeouts, but over the entire year, he's tied for first. This ball bounces in. Arrows tries to backpick it, but doesn't really matter as there's no one on base. It just results in a ball. The count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Drew Calley. In the hole is Jake McMurray. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt. Arrows has to throw down to first. Bradshaw not giving it an effort. Coaches don't love to see that, but Bradshaw sprinting directly into the dugout, throws his helmet, and he is not happy with himself after he strikes out on a pitch in the dirt.
Yeah, no, he's really upset right now. And even before that throw to first, he just tailed off towards the dugout, threw his helmet down, and then now he's just sitting in the dugout alone in the corner, and he's really just upset with himself. His second swing and strikeout of the day.
First pitch to Drew Cowley. Misses just outside. The count 1-0. Cowley's reached base twice today. A walk the last time he came to the plate on 4 consecutive pitches. First time up, he had a single which brought Tommy Castillo to third and was ultimately allowed him to score. He's going to get on again as he drives one to the left center field gap. Call cuts it off before it gets past him, but not after Drew Cowley is aboard with a single.
Yeah, and have a day, Drew Cowley. That's his third time reaching base, 2 singles on the day as well as a walk. And that one, a nice line drive to left center. Call cuts it off, like you said. Stops it from being a double from a single. And there, just Cowley aboard with 1 out.
Brings up Jake McMurray. He's had relatively successful at-bats 2 times that he's come to the plate. And so it looks like that there is going to be action in the Oaks pen. Eric Ma and Chris Torres both trotting down there. Torres, he got the start 2 days ago. I don't presume he's going to be warming up. Eric Ma, he hasn't pitched in 12 days, so hopefully he gets an appearance. The count is 0-1 to Jake McMurray. First time up, McMurray drove in the first run of the game, and then the second time up, he reached on a fielder's choice. The 0-1 pitch runs inside. The count is 1-1. And so, McMurray, yet to get a hit yet today, but driving in a run and getting on base will help the on-base percentage and help the RBI total. The 1-1, bounce up the middle. Wiersma, the throw to second. Smith, the relay to first. PFPs pay off for Joseph Wiersma. He stabs it and retires the side on 3 batters. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning after Wiersma flashes the leather on the Oaks live stream. Hunter Call leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. And another new pitcher on the mound for the Saints. It's Derek Yu. And last time he appeared was on July 25th against the OC Riptide. He gave up 1 run, 1 earned run, 3 total runs. First pitch to Hunter Call, skied out of play. Count 0-1. His ERA on the season is .437 in 12.1 innings pitched. He has 16 strikeouts and a 2-1 win-loss ratio. So he's been solid on the year. His last 3 performances have been his worst. He hadn't given up an earned run through his first 6 appearances, as Call quickly falls behind 0-2. But then on July 11th, a non-league game against the San Diego Waves, he gave up 4 earned runs in 1 inning pitched. Then he gave up a run in an inning against the Barons, and I mentioned the 3 total runs and 1 earned in 1 2/3 against the Riptide. Hunter Call went around on check swing on a slider that dove well off the plate, and that is a strikeout for Hunter Call on 3 straight pitches.
Yeah, and man, like what a start for you. But you, his last time out, he had 2 strikeouts despite giving up the 1 earned run, 3 runs total, and already a start. 3 pitches, 3 strikes to Call, and it's a good start for the righty who's looking to bounce back after a couple of rough performances.
JT Naviak looked like he was going to square to bunt, but pulled it back as the pitch missed the plate. So the count 1-0. Naviak, he has a double on the day. Pitch finds the zone right down the middle. Naviak did the exact same thing. Looked like he was going to start the bunt, never went all the way around. And so that double probably should have been a fly out, but Castillo lost the ball in the sun, and it dropped in shallow right center field as Naviak watches another pitch off the plate. The count 2-1. JT also grounded out to the shortstop on 3 pitches in the 3rd inning. The 2-1, Naviak squares to bunt again, pulls it back again, and is quickly ahead 3-1. He has not swung or attempted to swing this entire at-bat. Has not had the bat even cross the plate on his bunt attempts. 3 balls, 1 strike. Derek Yu misses inside, and JT Naviak able to work a 5-pitch walk.
Yeah, Naviak consistently showed bunt throughout, pulled it back many times, and takes the 5-pitch walk to first. But Derek Yu, the pitcher on the mound, he's at Columbia, which is the same college as Brandon Madrigal, and both of them 2020 graduates at private Christian schools in Southern California in the Los Angeles area. Yu, he's from Loyola. Madrigal, he's from Oaks Christian. But Yu, same thing as Madrigal, hasn't been to Columbia yet because the Ivy League canceled their season last year. So this summer, just like Madrigal, a new year of first time throwing in over 17 months.
Austin Carrillo watches the first pitch strike. 0-1 the count. Carrillo, he's reached base the first 3 times he's come to the plate today. A bunt single in the first, a seeing eye single through the hole between short and third in the second. He came around to score and also drove in a run on that. And then came around to score after he reached base on an error by Brandon Boning. A hard ground ball got through his legs. The count 0-2 now as Carrillo skies one out of play. So Austin Carrillo, he has 2 strikes on him for the second time today. That single in the second was a 1-2 count. Naviak, the runner on first, 1 out in the inning.
And he mentioned that 1-2 count. He got down 0-2 in that count as well.
Yu checks the sign, nods, and Carrillo belts one into the parking lot. Protect your cars.
I'm scared.
And that caromed off of a Ford Explorer. If that is your silver Ford Explorer, your car is now dented, courtesy of Austin Carrillo. No balls, 2 strikes, and a car payment on the hands of Austin Carrillo as he stays alive in the count, fouls another ball off. And I wonder if he's going to have to pay the invoice for that. The insurance company's covered it. And if it's someone at the baseball field or if it's someone enjoying the swimming pool. Because if you're enjoying the pool, you come back to your car and there's a giant dent on the top of it, I don't think you're going to be too happy about it. But you are going to have to track down Austin Carrillo. No balls, 2 strikes. Carrillo now 1-2. So Carrillo, he fouled off 2 straight 0-2 pitches. And now sees his first ball of the count. We know Carrillo, he doesn't like to go down when he's on 2 strikes. Battles with the pitcher sometimes. He talks to himself saying, I'm not going to go down. I'm going to win this battle. The 1-2 He's working his way back as that pitch misses low and inside. A back foot slider drops off the plate. So the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Carrillo still working.
Yeah, and I mean, it just seems like every time we see Carrillo, he's going to battle. And already 6 pitches in this at bat. And the Oaks, they've just been extending counts throughout the game, and here's another example of it.
The runner goes. The pitch misses. Naviak into second base. Not in time. He couldn't get under the tag, and he is caught stealing. Meanwhile, Austin Carrillo has now worked a full count. So 2 outs in the inning and no one on base now with a 3-2 count to Austin Carrillo, who's already fouled off 2 pitches with 2 strikes but has seen 3 consecutive balls since. 7 pitches already in this at-bat. And he works an 8-pitch walk. He goes down 0-2. He fouls off 2 pitches and then sees 4 straight balls. Austin Carrillo, a great job working the count, staying alive, and getting on base. He did it in the 3rd where he got on first base with 2 outs. Anson Arrows able to drive him in with a double. That went to right center field. Arrows going to try to do it once again.
And Carrillo, I mean, since moving into that leadoff role, he's just been so good. And getting on all 4 times today, another great day in that leadoff spot for him.
5 straight balls for you as the first pitch to Arrows runs off the plate. Count 1-0. Anson Arrows has reached base all 3 times he's come to the plate. A fielder's choice in the first, a single in the 2nd in which he came around to score, and then that RBI double in the 3rd. Arrows gets a fastball, center cut, fouls it straight back into the screen, just missed barreling it. And as a hitter, you're underneath that pitch. You start to feel a little bit confident when you foul it straight back. That just missed off the bat of Anson Arrows. And so the count is 1-1. Derek Yu threw the first strike in 6 pitches in that pitch, but goes right back off the plate as he misses low and inside for a ball. It's 2-1. Austin Carrillo standing over at first base this season. He has 8 stolen bases. Anson Arrows now 1 strike away from ending the inning with a strikeout as he cuts through a pitch that misses low and away. So the count would have been 3-1, but the nice pitch by Yu ended up fooling Arrows to make it 2-2. Anson only 10 strikeouts this year. Count 3-2. Carrillo is running on the ball in the dirt. It was blocked by Willis, and Austin Carrillo gets into second base safely, so now a runner in scoring position. And once again, Yu, after getting 2 strikes on a batter, has run the count full after that pitch bounced into Arrows.
Yeah, he has. And Anson right now, it's a full count, and it's the first time he's seen more than 2 pitches. He's really stretching this at bat out, and it's just been the theme of the inning. The last 2 batters, Carrillo had a full count, and then he walked, and right now, battling it off after a 5-pitch at bat to Naviak as well.
The 3-2 check swing. Did he go around? No, he didn't. Anson Arrows works a walk. So after Austin Carrillo got a full count walk, Anson Arrows follows suit. Runners on first and second with 2 outs in the inning to bring up the 3-hole hitter, Brendan Bobo. He's 0 for 3 on the day, but he has an RBI, and he has crushed balls foul. If he can put those in fair territory, straighten them out a little bit, it is going to be dangerous for the Arroyo Seco Saints, as there's a runner in scoring position, another one on first base, and the RBI leader for Conejo in the box. The first pitch misses outside, the count 1-0. Brendan Bobo second in RBI in the CCL South behind Mason Grotto.
And going back to that walk by Arrows, 2 walks now for Yu. And Yu, he's only had 6 walks in 9 games pitched all season.
And he quickly goes behind 2-0 to Brendan Bobo. So Yu, he's had to face off against 3 left-handed bats in his last 3 batters. Arrows, batting switch, was in the left-handed batter's box. Austin Carrillo, natural lefty. Brendan Bobo, a natural lefty. The 2-0, Bobo skies one out of play. Count 2-1. He did walk JT Naviak. That was on 5 pitches. Naviak was a righty. And on that Naviak at bat, with JT squaring to bunt, you presume you want him to make contact. The bunt is one of the easier plays to field on the infield. If JT can put it down right, then it's going to be an infield single. But as a pitcher, I think you're almost happy with someone squaring to bunt as Bobo swings and misses at a ball that missed the zone low. But the count is 2-2 as Bobo went chasing. So I would presume that in that at-bat to JT Naviak, it wasn't the fact that he was trying to pitch around Naviak. It was the fact that he just couldn't locate his pitches and showed with 3 consecutive walks. Bobo stays alive as he fouls one back. It hits the padding of Willis right on the catcher's gear. So the count still 2-2 as Bobo stays alive. Austin Carrillo did a similar job to stay alive off a 2-strike count. Brendan Bobo now at 2 strikes, trying to continue his at-bat as well.
And Bobo did this his last time up in the third. He fouled off a couple of pitches, stayed alive, but did strike out on the 6th pitch. Now fouled off another one, 6th pitch coming.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 5 pitches already in the at-bat. The 6th, check swing, it's in the dirt. Carrillo advancing to third. He's taking a big round. Willis can't find it. Carrillo's coming to the plate. A run's going to score. Arrows to third. And the passed ball results in a run. The Oaks with 2 outs, steal another one. It is 10-2.
And it's just been a disastrous day for the Saints, and that's just another example of it. Bobo, he check swings, it doesn't go around, and the ball gets past Willis, and he can't just find it. And that allows Carrillo to go not from third to home, but from second to home. And you rarely see that. Arrows, he goes from first to third, and man, wow.
And so another full count for Derek Yu. The 3-2 skied high into shallow left field. Bonin going back. Burden coming in. Jack Burden calls him off, makes the play, and the inning is over, but not after the Oaks scratch 1 run across with 3 walks in the inning. Arrows left on third base. We head to the top of the 6th as the Oaks lead by 8 runs on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Back here in the 6th inning on the Oaks live stream. New pitcher on the hill. It's Eric Ma, and boy, is it good to see Eric Ma back out there. It's been 12 days since he's seen an appearance. Time called as there was a ball behind home plate. So the on-deck hitter, Jack Burden goes to get it. The guy at the plate right now is Josh Cowden. There's been a few pitchers for the Oaks that haven't seen action in a while. Eric Ma, Brandon Madrigal, and Aiden Garza, all with 10-plus days rest. Ma, first pitch, a strike at the knees, the count 0-1. Ma, his last performance came against the Santa Barbara Foresters. He only allowed one base runner. He allowed a walk in 2 innings pitched, didn't allow a single hit. Swing and a miss, quickly gets ahead 0-2 to Josh Cowden. This season he has an 8.0 ERA. His first few outings, they weren't great, but his last 2, he went 2 2/3 against the Saints, allowed 1 earned run, as this one is skied into right field. Raul Sandoval, who shifted over from center, is there to make the play for the first out of the inning. So a 3-pitch out to Josh Cowden. Defensive realignment in the outfield. TJ Foreman takes a seat. Sandoval takes his spot in right. Call shifts over to center, and Scott Radinsky goes from the bench to left field.
Yeah, and Sandoval played right field yesterday for the injured Foreman. Foreman, he came out, he had a great game to start, a little bit shaken up still with that injury, but, it's a 10-2 game. He doesn't need to be in right now.
First pitch, a strike to Jack Burden, the count 0-1. Burden, he has a single in the 4th inning, came around to score in that inning as well. That was the second run that the Saints were able to scratch across the board. This one spoiled out of play. The count 0-2 to Jag Burden, who flew out to end the 1st inning the first time he came to the plate. And so I mentioned Eric Ma's last 2 outings that have been good, where he's allowed just 1 earned run in 4 2/3 innings in his last 2 outings combined, as he misses the zone here. First ball of the at-bat for Ma, or of the outing for Ma as well. 1-2 the count. And I credit a lot of that to the fact that Ma was injured during his collegiate season. As this one skied in foul territory, going to drift out of play into the Oaks bullpen. Radinsky had no chance at it. So the count's still 1-2. Because Ma, in his first season at Northern Colorado, he got injured very early in the season. He did not have many outings in his year. So this is the first time where he's back on the hill off that injury. So you sort of expect a little bit of growing pains for the first few outings. He got through those growing pains, and he's had 2 successful outings. But he did have to sit a while before he saw this one, as the 1-2 continued to be fought off by Jag Burden. And so, Knight, give me your take on this in terms of the rest between the outings of Ma and the success that he's had in his last 2 appearances.
Yeah, I think that they just trust certain guys.
As the 1-2 is continually fought off by Jag Burden. He has fouled off 3 pitches already.
And they trust certain guys based on their performances they played. And Ma, he didn't have a lot of performances because he was out again with an injury during the summer. And so they didn't really get to see him a lot. And so his last couple of performances.
As the 1-2, swing and a miss from Eric Ma. The first strikeout of the day for Ma, the 9th of the season. And Eric Ma starts off his 6th inning in style.
Yeah, that was a nice strikeout right there. Got ahead and, executed and got the strikeout after getting ahead with 2 strikes. But I think they just see certain guys a little bit more. Ma, he had success in his last 2 outings, but those are small sample size. One of the outings was against the Saints in a 10-0 blowout,
Check swing by Bo Willis. The appeal, he didn't go. The count 1-0.
And so the Oaks, they've been playing a lot of close games as of late, and so they're putting in guys they trust to keep the game scoreless. And Ma, his small sample size, they just haven't gained that complete trust. But as he throws another strike here, I think that if he continues to do what he does, maybe that trust will build, and if the Oaks make the playoffs, we might see a little bit more of Eric Ma in the later part of the week.
Swing and a miss. Eric Ma gets 2 strikes on Bo Willis. Fastball on the outside part of the plate puts Ma ahead in the count 1-2. And I agree with you. And I think that Eric Ma, who's been such a mainstay with the Oaks as the 1-2 fouled out of play, he should earn more innings. And he did have that injury in the middle of the season. It was a while between appearances when on June 22nd against the Santa Barbara Foresters, and then July 7th, he had a break because he was nursing a little bit of an injury. But you'd think that Eric Ma, who's been with the team for so long, would have earned a little bit more of that trust. He spikes a pitch here. That's the first poor pitch of the outing for Ma. It's 2-2.
Yeah, Eric Ma has been with the Conejo Oaks as long as Hunter Renfroe was at Clemson.
That's an entire lifetime.
Pretty much.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Skied in shallow right field. Sandoval coming in. Smith headed out. Sandoval shielding the sun, makes the play. Fighting off Mother Nature for a 1-2-3 inning as Eric Ma. It's been a while since he's been on the hill, but the rust doesn't show as he gets out. We head to the bottom of the 6th on the Oaks live stream on YouTube. Ryan Milano and Knight Uretsky on hand as yet another pitcher on the mound for Arroyo Seco. This is the 6th inning. We have seen 5 pitchers. The only one who has gone multiple innings was the starter, Dominic Dorado, who went 2. Daniel Richardson is the pitcher on the hill now. First pitch to Grant Smith, bounces in. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Smith today, he has 2 backwards Ks. Those came in the 1st and 4th. An RBI single sandwiched in between in the 2nd inning. He came around to score in that inning as well. Pitch. Misses high. Smith, 2 balls and no strikes to him. Richardson, he has a 736 earned run average on the season and 9 appearances for the Saints this year. In 7 1/3 innings pitched, he struck out 12 and walked 9. The 2-0 at the knees. Smith offers and skies it out of play. So the count 2-1. Richardson, his ERA is heavily inflated by a June 30th outing against the Santa Barbara Foresters in which he gave up 2 earned runs without recording a single out.
He only faced 3 batters, 3 walks. So just loaded the bases and then 2 runs came around.
Smith watches the 2-1 miss outside. That jumped his ERA from 2.70 on the year at that point to 8.10, and ever since he's been trying to scratch it down. So the ERA deceiving for Daniel Richardson. He is a San Diego State product. The 3-1 elevated fastball, swing and a miss. Grant Smith lets the count run full. Richardson, teammates with Jacob Flores.
Yeah, actually, the last the time these two teams played, you saw Flores and Richardson hanging out in the middle of that long stoppage we had with the umpire being injured.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Smith swing and a miss. The third K of the day for Grant Smith. The Saints have been great. Smith has had a day that maybe not forgetful with the RBI single salvaging it, but 3 strikeouts, not what he loves to see at the plate. And that brings up Scott Radinsky to the plate. Radinsky, he came in for TJ Foreman. Hopefully that is not a re-injury to Foreman in terms of his back as Radinsky watches a pitch, miss, low and away. The count 1-0. Radinsky this season, it's a very limited sample size, only 6 plate appearances, but he's leading the Oaks in every category. He has the highest batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and on-base plus slugging percentage as Radinsky drops one out of play behind us. Actually, he does not have the highest slugging percentage. I stand corrected. That honor goes to Brendan Bobo, who is lapping the field at 485. Radinsky in second place at 400. That coincides with his batting average. He's had 2 singles in those 6 at-bats, 5 of them credited as plate appearances as he gets ahead in the count 2-1, watching a pitch miss low and away. So he has 2 hits on the season, a walk, and reached base on an error. So in 6 plate appearances, he's reached base 4 times. 2 balls, 1 strike. Richardson runs one inside. Radinsky ducks out of the way. And he is a pitch away from getting that on-base percentage to continue to skyrocket.
Send it through the roof right now, Radinsky.
He wants to be the stat leader in every single average category. 3 balls, 1 strike. Lines one hard into the screen out of play.
You know, we saw one ball go to the parking lot earlier in the game. Do they just need to raise the screen a little bit higher?
I think you need to pay for a lot of screen over there. There's the netting that protects the parking lot. And, I mean, to protect that Brendan Bobo ball, you need about a 400-foot high in the air net as the 3-2 bounces in. Radinsky, in now 7 plate appearances, has reached base 5 times.
That's a good average. That is a really good average.
It's not bad at all for Scott Radinsky.
You know, he really just came in to be a pinch runner a lot, and he's done it a fair amount, and he's been a defensive substitution a couple of times, hasn't had many plate appearances, but when he has gone to go to the plate, he's really made it pay off. Like you said, 5 times reaching first base and 7 times attempted. It's pretty good.
The only thing that dwarfs that on-base percentage is Raul Sandoval's on-base percentage today. Sandoval watches the first pitch in for a ball, so the count 1-0. Sandoval has reached base all 3 times. Homered in the second inning. That's his second home run in the last 2 days. That was a 2-run shot. He then had an RBI single in the third and walked as well in the fourth. The 1-0 misses away. And actually that RBI single was also in the second inning as the lineup turned over. So in my score sheet, I have to move it over to the third inning side because the Oaks batted around.
It's crazy. 2 hits, 3 RBIs in an inning.
Sandoval gets brushed back. It clips him. He's on base for the 4th time today, and he won player of the game yesterday. Early candidate to go back-to-back.
And he's battling with Ansoneros again.
I would almost feel bad if we jip Ansoneros again after a great day.
Well, yesterday I really wanted Ansoneros to be the player of the game. He just didn't get it. I just thought that 3 hits, 5 for 5 on base percentage should have done it. 3 runs scored.
It's tough when you score 13 runs in a game. It's hard to decide which offensive player deserves it.
Which right now it's 10-2, and it's hard to decide right now.
Austin Carrillo, he's reached base all 4 times he's come to the plate. It's too early to start this conversation. We could also just give it to the 5 spot. Radinsky and Foreman have reached base every time they've come to the plate combined.
Maybe TJ. I mean, 2 singles and a double, battling a back injury. I mean, That's a story and a half.
And we'll figure it out throughout the game as Melhoff watches the first pitch strike, a breaking ball in at the knees, the count 0-1.
Did Tobias Plotkin talk to you about how he thought he should have been player of the game yesterday?
I did not talk to Tobias Plotkin today. I was going to. I was going to joke to him about how we didn't mention his home runs on the broadcast yesterday. The 0-1 skied out of play, the count 0-2.
Yeah, Plotkin came in, and he was really, really good in that performance that he threw. And the thing that he said, if you would have heard this story, he threw only 10 pitches in the bullpen, and then they put him in the game. Only 10 pitches of warm-up, then he got put in the game and shoved.
It's resiliency. No balls, 2 strikes. Melhoff trying to battle. He does as he stays alive, skying one out of play. Back-to-back foul balls. That one kept the count the same. Runner in scoring position, that's Radinsky at second. Sandoval at first. Melhoff, so far today, he has an RBI on a sacrifice fly to left field. He also reached base on a hit by pitch in the second inning, yet to get aboard with a hit today. 0-2. Swing and a miss, a breaking ball in the dirt, a filthy pitch from Richardson. Gets the K, his second of the day.
And it's been a good day for pretty much everybody. Everybody could be satisfied with something, except for probably Greg Melhoff. I know he did have a sac fly, but other than that, a hit by pitch that he reached and got thrown out at second, or grounded out at second after call, so he was out there.
Game's still young.
And a strikeout, yeah.
The game is still young. Hunter Call, he comes to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. He reached base in the second inning on a fielder's choice, stole a bag, and came around to score. Since then, he's grounded out to third and struck out. First pitch to him, outside part of the plate for a strike, the count 0-1. So Richardson, he's brought some strikeout stuff to this inning. Throughout the season, Richardson, 12 strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings. He strikes out almost 2 batters per inning. That total stays true here as in this inning, the 2 outs he's recorded have both been strikeouts, 0-1. Call watches a pitch bounce in. Willis blocks it, prevents the runners from advancing. So the count 1-1 with the runners still on first and second base. Big hole between Jackson Cobb at second and Jake McMurray at first. They're not expecting Hunter Call to go opposite way.
And why would they? Call every time he's driven the ball in the past couple of days, he's driven it to left side of the field.
1 ball, 1 strike. Off-speed pitch, runs outside. The count 2-1. And Hunter Call, the reason he's been far out in front this season is he said that to prepare for the CCL, he thought the pitchers would be throwing 95, 96. So he went into a batting cage, ramped the hitting machine up to 95 miles per hour. And so the first few weeks of the season, he was just way out in front. Now he watches a strike, the count 2-2. So earlier in the season, he was driving balls outside of the bag at third and just hitting really hard line drives and ground balls that just wouldn't go fair. And he's had to readjust throughout the season to slow himself down.
That's awesome. I think it's hilarious. He just thought that every pitcher was going to be throwing 95 to 96.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Line drive to right center field. He can go opposite way. Radinsky tapping on third. He's coming around to score. Sandoval first to third. Runners on the corners as Hunter Call comes up with an RBI base knock.
Yeah, it was a nice ball. He drove it to right center field. A little bit in the hole right there. It advances Sandoval from first to third, and more importantly, it advances Radinsky from second to home, and now the lead is up to 9 in this game, and the onslaught continues against the Saints.
The score is 11-2, and I think that you might owe Hunter Call an apology for saying that he can't go the opposite way. He just drove a ball into the gap in right center field.
Yeah, but he didn't drive it right between the second baseman and first baseman.
JT Naviak, he's at the plate. Hunter Call might try to swipe it back. He's already done so once in this game. Naviak watches a pitch at the letters, catches the zone for a strike, 0-1.
And I also want to just say, I just said, why would they? Because he's been driving the ball there for the past couple of days. That was a fact.
You're playing the analytics. No balls, 1 strike to JT Naviak. He doubled his first time up. Now watches a pitch run off the plate for a ball to count 1-1. He saw 5 balls in his last at-bat. 5-pitch walk, then ended up getting caught out between first and second base trying to catch a bag. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hunter Call at first, Sandoval at third. The 1-1 pitch misses low and inside. So the count is 2-1. We've seen a few pass balls already in this game. If another one gets passed, Raul Sandoval will be darting for home. Hard call. He's seen 3 pitches on the base paths. He has not tried to take second base yet. 2 balls, 1 strike. Still doesn't go. Naviak gets brushed back. And very similar to what he saw in his last at-bat, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, Naviak's had a couple of pitches like that one in the past week that have really come close to hitting him. It's been really scary for the Oaks batters, it feels like, as of late.
3-1, call still doesn't go, and it doesn't matter as the pitch missed low and away. And so bases are now juiced for a man who has reached base every time he's come to the plate. That's Austin Carrillo.
It's a good walk for Naviak, but, I mean, it just extends the inning, and it's just been tough going for the Saints. I mean, 5 different pitchers today, and none of them have had a lot of success.
Carrillo today, he has feasted off of those pitchers for the Saints. A single in the first, a single in the second, reached on an error and came around to score in the third, and a walk came around to score in the fifth. That single in the second drove in a run. He also came around to score on that as well. First pitch misses high, the count 1-0. So Austin Carrillo, with the bases loaded, has a chance for another RBI on the day here if he can get aboard in any way. The 1-0 misses outside, squirts out of the glove of Willis, but stays close enough where Sandoval can't get the jump to the plate. So the count, 2 balls, no strikes. The wind still gusting out to right field.
Helped out Raul Sandoval.
Definitely helped out Raul Sandoval. That home run in the second inning. Carrillo watches a pitch. He thinks about it, doesn't offer. Strike called on the pitch. Caught the high and outside part of the plate. So the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Hunter Call at second. JT Naviak at first. And Raul Sandoval 90 feet away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Make it 3-1 as that pitch missed low and inside. And Daniel Richardson is 1 ball away from walking in a run. He had a full count to Grant Smith, ended up coming back and getting a strikeout. Couldn't do the same against Scott Radinsky when he had a full count to him. The 3-1, Richardson right down the middle. Carrillo swings underneath it. The count has run full. That fastball by Richardson just blew Carrillo away. And so 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the bases are juiced. The Oaks have a 9-run cushion, but every run of insurance is crucial. The 3-2, the runner's going, it hits Carrillo, and every runner's going to take a bag. I'm sure Austin's not happy about that one. Worked a walk, but ends up getting plunked for it. An RBI hit by pitch for Austin Carrillo.
Yeah, and, you know, I said it during Naviak's at bat that a lot of the Oaks, they've been hit by pitches as of late. And we saw one earlier with Raul Sandoval in this inning, and right there, Carrillo, he gets hit by a pitch. The one in Naviak didn't clip him, but so far in this inning, 2 hit by pitches and a bunch of walks, and the bases are still loaded.
So Carrillo's reached 5 times today. Ansonero's trying to keep pace. He's reached 4 times today in his 4 at-bats. Fielder's choice in the first. A single and came around to score in the second. An RBI double in the third, and then walked the last time he came to the plate last inning. First pitch misses high and away. 1-0 is the count.
And Carrillo, he's reached base a different way each time. He reached on a bunt single, an actual hit single, an error, a walk, and a hit by pitch.
Arrows, watch the pitch. It gets away. Call, sprinting to the dish. The throw not going to get there. Every runner is going to advance a bag as Bo Willis went halfway to first base on the pitch. That got away. Another run's going to come in, and that's going to make it 13-2 with 2 runners in scoring position.
Wow.
And the Oaks just needed to put this together sooner. The Oaks don't have their own fate in their hands. The Orange County Riptide need to lose today if the Oaks hold on to win against Arroyo Seco. Santa Barbara They've won 13 games in a row. If they continue that win streak, extend it to 14. As Arrow's broken bat. It looked like he drove it, but it's just the perplexion of the angles as he drives one outside of the first base bag. And that bat that has become so synonymous with Anson Arrows, he's now going to have to get a new one.
I know. I'm kind of sad. A little bit of tears in my eyes.
Hey, it looks the exact same. Don't worry. New bat, exactly the same as the old bat. The optics will not change.
But it's the sentimental value of that bat. It's so good.
I'm sure we'll have an obituary for Anson Arrows' bat later tonight. After the game, we're all going to gather around. There's going to be a funeral for Anson's bat.
I would love that.
You will be giving the speech. Anson won't even be giving the speech. You'll be giving the speech.
I will gladly accept that.
2 balls, 1 strike. Naviak at third. Carrillo at second. Arrows looking at a 2-1 count against Daniel Richardson. The pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball off of his foot, so it's foul. Count is 2-2. Naviak touched the plate for good measure, but he's going to have to run back to third. A 13-2 game. The Oaks, they just have to avoid disaster to hold on to win. They still are not in the playoffs, even with a win. Orange County holds the tiebreaker. After yesterday's game, we thought that the Oaks held the tiebreaker over Orange County. The information we had was incorrect. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Arrows watches a pitch low and inside. The count has run full. This is now the 4th full count of the inning for Daniel Richardson. Grant Smith struck out. Scott Rudinsky walked. Austin Carrillo got hit by a pitch. What will Anson Arrows do here? 3 balls, 2 strikes. Richardson delivers. Arrows skies one out of play. It hits off of the awning protecting the Oaks fans down the left field line. So the count still 3-2. Arrows battling. It's been a long inning for Daniel Richardson.
40 pitches in the inning.
He is struggling to get out of it. Arrows trying to continue his day. Anson Arrows has reached base in the last 9 at-bats. Actually, the last 11 at-bats. Anson Arrows has reached base. That is ridiculous. Swings, ground ball, foul. Stays alive.
That is insane.
11 consecutive at-bats for Anson Arrows. He's battling here. So going from most recent, it's a walk, a double, a single, a fielder's choice, a double, a walk, a hit by pitch, 2 singles, an error, and a walk in the last 3 games. Those are his 11 base appearances. The 3-2 skied shallow center field. Going back is Cobb, boning underneath it, feet on the grass, and that streak is broken as the inning is over. The Oaks lead 13-2 after 3 runs came across in the frame. We head to the top of the 7th inning on the Oaks live stream. Eric Ma back to work.
Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Knight Uretsky, that is me. I am taking over play-by-play from Ryan Milano. Eric Ma on the mound. First pitch from him here in the 7th to Brandon Boning, misses inside. 1-0 the count. The Oaks, they're leading 13-2, and a massacre right now of the Saints here in the 7th, as the 1-0 to Boning high, 2-0 the count. Boning today, he's 0 for 2. He had a strikeout on 7 pitches, which he fought off 2 pitches with 2 strikes, but he ultimately went down swinging in the 4th, as he now lines a double down the left field line. He's going for extra bases. Chasing over now is Radinsky in left field. Boning into second, and the leadoff man's aboard for the Saints, and that's a heck of a start if you're going to mount a comeback for the Saints right there. A double right down the line for Boning. And Eric Ma, the man on the mound for the Oaks, he had such an impressive 6th inning. He had a 1-2-3 inning. Josh Cowden flew out on 2 pitches. Jag Burton had a 7-pitch battle that ultimately ended in a strikeout for Ma. And then Bo Willis, a 6-pitch at bat, ended in a fly out to the right fielder Raul Sandoval, and that ended the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Eric Ma. But Boning aboard with the double. First pitch now to Jackson Cobb. He shows bunted it, but it was foul to the backstop. 0-1 the count. Cobb today is up for the 3rd time. 0 for 2, but he did reach base in his last at bat. That was a fielder's choice that he grounded into. Bo Willis, he was out at second. Cobb reached base at first, but he's left stranded there. Prior to that, he grounded out to the second baseman. Cobb now spoils one away behind the dish. Now 0-2 the count to Jackson Cobb, the second baseman. Remember, back in the first time these two teams met, the Oaks, they played the Saints in Arroyo Seco. That's in Pasadena, that is. And Jackson Cobb, he went 2 for 2 in that game and had a home run in the 9th inning. He now looks at a pitch inside, 1-2. That home run was off of Clay Rickerman, and Rickerman's the center fielder. He's coming up to the plate. 4th time up for him. 4th time through the order now for the Saints, as he's the leadoff man. Boning at second after leadoff double. 1 out in the inning. First pitch from Ma. Fouled off by Castillo. 0-1 the count. Castillo, his first time up, he got aboard with a single. He stole second base and then was able to advance around from second to home on the RBI ground out by Jake McMurray. It was the first run of the day for either team. It put the Saints up 1-0, but since then it's been all Conejo. 13-2 the score now here in the 7th. He now grounds one left side, fielded by Melhoff, the third baseman. He throws across the diamond in time. Castillo's retired, and they throw back to second. In there safely, though, is Boning, and he looks injured.
It was a dangerous play by Brandon Boning going off the bag, and then he took a healthy secondary lead. He almost looked like he was trying to bait the throw from running Bobo back to second, and he had to slide hard back into second base. And whenever you're playing that aggressive, you can get a little shaken up, and it just looked like the wind got knocked out of him on the head first slide.
Yeah, he looks okay now. Grabbing that inner thigh part, but seems to be okay. Shaking it off, though, is a 2-pitch at bat to Castillo, a ground out to Melhoff, and now after the leadoff double for Boning, Ma's gone back-to-back outs, a strikeout and a ground out, looking to escape without allowing a run. Connor Bradshaw, the DH, coming to the plate. First pitch to Bradshaw, misses away, 1-0 the count. Bradshaw, 2 strikeouts today, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 1st. Sandwiched in between those, a 4-pitch walk in the 3rd, but after his last strikeout in the 5th, he was not happy with himself. Walked to the dugout, threw his helmet, and then sat in the corner alone. This time, he spoils a ball out of play, counting even 1-1. Bradshaw consistently throughout the year, he's batting .393 with 4 home runs and 27 RBIs. So a really good bat for the Saints. Just today, it just hasn't been swinging very well, 0 for 2.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic day for him. He's had 5 hits in the last, or 6 hits rather, in the last 4 games coming into today.
He now sends one towards left field. Radinsky under it, makes the catch, and the inning is over. So Eric Ma, 1-2-3 after the leadoff double from Brandon Boning, and he's left stranded there. We head to the bottom of the 7th, 13-2 the score. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Night Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Brendan Bobo, Grant Smith, and Scott Radinsky due up for the Oaks. That is the 3, 4, and 5-hole hitters. They're facing off against a new pitcher, Diego Avila. First pitch to Bobo misses away, 1-0 the count.
The 6th pitcher in 7 innings. It just looks like they are emptying out the pen for Arroyo Seco.
The 1-0 to Bobo. Hit monstrous shot. See you later. Bobo blast. And the lead is extended 14-2.
That ball was a no-doubter. You knew it right off the bat. That ball was going out of the park. And I mean, it looks like batting practice right now. It just looks like batting practice. They look like how you were hitting in batting practice, Knight.
Dude, I was lining some heck of a lot of balls out there. You know, I made contact every single time. That was what I was most proud about. We had intern BP today, but nothing like Brendan Bower right there. That was right off the bat. You knew that was gone.
What, did you not see me hit a home run today?
You did
I
not
did not hit a home run
I'm
today.
kidding.
I did not hit a home run.
Hit a couple in the outfield. That was impressive. First pitch to Grant Smith. It goes off the foot of the pitcher, Avila. He throws it to first, and Smith's retired on the first pitch to him.
And that's tough for Grant Smith. That's a hard hit ball. It gets through, but Avila was playing soccer, ended up keeping it in front of him. A good one touch. Was able to field it and flip it over to first in time.
So Brendan Bobo now 8 home runs on the year.
That's impressive. Let's check on the CCL lead for that. Let's see how that is in the standings, because I know he was among the top for a while. 9 is the CCL lead, so he puts himself in sole second place. He's trailing Torrin Montgomery of the Prune Packers. And Montgomery just has so many at-bats. He has 157 at-bats. It helps when your team bats around almost every inning they come to the plate.
Yeah, look at the wins for the Prune Packers. They have 16-3 victory against the Seals, 12-0 against the Mudcats, 18-2 against the Mudcats, 11-3 against the Mudcats. It just makes it sound like the Mudcats are not very good.
Yeah, so 157 at-bats for Torrin Montgomery. He also has 20 walks. He has at least 177 plate appearances on the year. That's not counting hit by pitches, the works. Brendan Bobo, he has 132 credited at-bats headed into today with 149 plate appearances.
Bobo's just been crushing the ball. And the one that you said went all the way to the street, I'm not sure if it did, but it looked like it did. That one was a moonshot, and that one was in fair territory, and you love to see it. Bobo bouncing back after striking out earlier today and grounding out a couple of times as well as a fly out.
So the Oaks for a minute were going double barrel in the bullpen with Aiden Garza and Brandon Madrigal. Madrigal has since taken a seat. Maybe he's hot, ready to go in the next half inning, or he just sat down after warming up. But both of them were getting hot in the bullpen.
2 pitches to Radinsky missed, 2-0 the count. Radinsky walked his first time up last inning. He now swings, chops one right up the middle, fielded by Avila. He throws it to first, and back-to-back groundouts to the pitcher, and 2 outs in the inning.
Was that the first pitch to Scott Radinsky?
It's the third.
Oh, the third pitch. I was too busy focusing on the bullpen.
It was a 2-0 count to Radinsky. First 2 pitches missed. He walked the last inning, but a ground out. Grant Smith grounded out to Avila, and now Radinsky does. That follows the monstrous shot by Brendan Bobo. That extended the lead 14-2. I think this is the biggest margin of victory. If the Oaks do win, it would be 12. Sandoval crushes one high and deep to left field. Is the wind going to keep it in play? It does.
That ball was killed. It just hung up for a little too long. Man, Raul Sandoval, that's dangerous.
Man, Sandoval almost went yard for the second time today. The wind blowing here at Cal Lutheran. It's very hard to hit a home run here. Most ballparks, that's gone. San Luis Obispo, see you later. Here and out, and 1, 2, 3 after the Brendan Bobo home run. The lead's 14-2. We head to the 8th. You are listening to the Conejo Oaks on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here on the top of the 8th inning. Eric Maugh's day is over. 2 innings pitched. He faced 7 batters. Only one of them was not sent down. That was Brandon Boning. He had a double. But other than that, got every out but him. 2 strikeouts on 27 pitches in the 2 innings. First pitch on the new mound is going to be Aiden Garza. First pitch from him is called a strike to Drew Cali. 0-1 the count. Second pitch from Garza, called a strike on the outside part of the plate. The fastball is working today for Garza. 0-2 the count to Cali, who today is very hot. 2 singles and a walk, and now looks like the umpire's talking to the Saints dugout.
Yeah, that last pitch, to me, it looked a little bit off the plate, and I'm sure that the Saints are talking a little bit about that as well. I'm sure they didn't love the call. And what I really would love to see today is to get Aiden Garza this 8th inning and then have Brandon Madrigal come out in the 9th, because they've both been sitting for a while. It's been 11 days rest for both Garza and Madrigal. Ma got in the game after 12 days rest. It would be a really great way to cap off the regular season if no one went home really disappointed. You were able to get everyone outings in the last week of play, able to close everyone's seasons out on a good note. I think that that would be really important going into the end of the season and a potential playoff run, depending on what happens in the Orange County-Santa Barbara game.
The last 2 pitches from Garza missed, so now the count's 2-2. And absolutely, this could be the last game of the season for the Conejo Oaks, and you want to see the guys that haven't thrown in a while get in. Garza pitches outside, and now the count's full after starting ahead 0-2 to Drew Cali.
We saw Brandon Madrigal getting loose in the pen earlier when Garza was warming up, but we have not seen him since. I wonder if he's getting loose elsewhere.
Cali is going to rope one towards right field. Sandoval giving chase. That's going to drop. Tapping on first and rounding there and staying there is Cali, his 3rd single of the day. A 4-for-4 on base percentage for the 3rd baseman, and a runner on, nobody out for the Saints.
And the problem when it's been such a long time since a pitcher's been on the hill is that there's so much pressure now that the pitcher feels to perform well, because it is such a long time between outings, because they don't know when they're going to be able to see the hill again. So with Aiden Garza right here, that leadoff single, it now mounts even more pressure on that, because if the Oaks do make the playoffs, Garza's trying to set himself up as a trusted reliever, someone coming off of a good outing that if he is called upon in the postseason, he's going to be a trusted arm that can get in and do his work. So for Garza, I think that it's important that he gets outs here and does not get too flustered by the leadoff runner on.
First pitch to Jake McMurray inside, a ball. 1-0 the count. So Garza, he started ahead 0-2 to Drew Cali. 3 straight balls, and then on the 6th pitch, he sent it to right center field for a single. And now a ball here to Jake McMurray. Second pitch, McMurray, he's going to bloop it towards the foul side in right field. Caught by the pitcher in foul territory.
And so that pitcher warming up is probably going to be another new pitcher for Arroyo Seco.
Another one. The Saints, they've thrown a new pitcher every inning since the third inning. The first pitcher, Dominic Dorado, he threw the first 2 innings, and every inning since, it's been a new pitcher for the Saints. The 1-1 to McMurray, swing and a miss. Arrows tried to backpick. Bobo wasn't ready for it. In there safely is Cowley.
Well, Bobo was ready for it. He just was able to block it from going into the outfield. The throw from Arrows was poor. It one-hop Brendan Bobo, and he just made sure the ball didn't go into the outfield. Bobo was ready for it. I thought he made a great play to save the ball from going into the outfield and letting Cowley from taking an extra base.
Swing and a miss from McMurray. A strikeout for the first baseman, his first strikeout of the day, and he's just had a rough day. He grounded into a double play his last time up, and now a 4-pitch strikeout from Aiden Garza.
Really great response from Garza. He gave up a single and then threw a pretty poor first pitch to go down 1 strike. 3 consecutive strikes after that to go and get the strikeout. A very good response from Aiden Garza.
So now Josh Cowden, the right fielder, coming up to the plate. First pitch from Garza, runs away from the plate, 1-0 the count. Cowden today still searching for his first hit in the past 5 games. He had a walk to lead it off in the first, but since then a strikeout on 8 pitches in the third, which he battled off 2 pitches with 2 strikes. Then after that, a flyout. Now he grounds one up the middle, and there's his hit. He breaks the cold streak and advances the runner. 2 hits in the inning for the Saints now. Runners on first and second.
And that's weak contact. That, amongst a non-sheeted defense, is a routine double play. It would have been right into the glove of Grant Smith, but the way the Oaks play defensively with the shade to a pull side of a hitter, it just squeezed right in between the second base bag and where Grant Smith was playing, in between first and second base. So, weak contact, it got a hit. We saw that be the credit of the Oaks, but right there was the demise of Aiden Garza on that at-bat.
So now Drew Cowley at second. Josh Cowden at first, and up at the plate, Jag Burden. First pitch to him, called a strike. 0-1 the count. Garza, lefty's going to be going up against a lot of lefties in this lineup, although the man on deck, Bo Willis, he's a righty, and the guy after him, Brendan Boning, he's a righty. But everybody else, consistently left-handed hitters. They have normally about 7 lefties in the lineup for the Saints. Pitch runs away, count even 1-1. Jag Burden today, he had 1 hit. That was in the 4th. He stole second base, then stole third base, came home after the throw hit him. He was able to truck down to the home plate side, scored the second run of the day for the Saints. As he now swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. He gets behind now 1-2. Garza's ahead 1-2 for the second time this inning.
And actually, Knight, they have 4 righties in the lineup. Jake McMurray's a righty, and Tommy Castillo's also a righty, to go along with Bo Willis and Brandon Boning.
It's true. 1-2 the count. Burden, his last time up, a strikeout. Pitch from Garza bounces. 2-2 now.
And so when Garza's missed, it's been pull side. He's just been following through too much, overthrowing on those pitches. Every single time when it's been against a left-handed batter, it's run into the right-handed batter's box.
So Garza got ahead 0-2 to Cowley, and now 2-2 to Burden after he got ahead 1-2. The pitch in. Below the knees, misses. Full count now. Garza's second full count of the inning. Burden this season batting .235, 13 RBIs on the year, has number 14 waiting for him at second and 15 waiting for him at first. But Garza stands in the way. The pitch. This one's chopped just foul to the first base side. We'll do the 3-2 again. 6 pitches in the at-bat, 7th one incoming.
And so Garza, the first time he had a full count, he got barreled up. This time, staying alive in the count is Jag Burden. Garza, you can't be hesitant to go back in and throw strikes. If you throw a ball, you're letting the bases go loaded. You can't let that happen. You have to be throwing strikes. You can't be scared because the last full count, you ended up giving a strike over the middle of the plate that got driven into the gap.
The payoff pitch. This one sent towards center field. Call can't get to it. The throw from Call to second base is not going to be in time. The bases are loaded as the single from Burden advances all the runners.
And that's just as good as a walk. And I like that pitch better from Garza than if he were to try to pitch around Jag Burden. Go right in against a left-handed hitter, try to get the out. But you don't get it. Goes right back up the middle. A shallow single. No runs come in to score. The runners just advance one bag, and that was the force at every base.
So 3 singles in the inning as well as 1 strikeout. That is the 1 out in the inning. And Garza is going to have to try to get out of this jam. First pitch to Bo Willis. Bounces in. 1-0 the count. That was the 20th pitch of the inning for Garza. Bo Willis today, 2 flyouts to right field. 1 in the 6th and 1 in the 2nd. Sandwiched in between that, a walk, but he was out at second after a fielder's choice play. He now grounds one up the middle. Naviak, a high chopper, flips it to Smith. The throw to first, a double play. Garza gets out of it.
Great way to get out of the inning.
Yeah, great way indeed. The bases were juiced with 1 out, but no runs come across. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 14-2 the score. You are listening to the Conejo Oaks on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here in the bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher on the mound, it's Eric Navarrete, the new pitcher for the Saints. We've said that every single inning since the second, as the first pitch to Melhoff misses 1-0 the count. Melhoff today, it's been an unsuccessful day for him, although he does have an RBI and a sac fly in the 4th. Struck out on 3 pitches his last time up. Prior to that, he flew out and was hit by a pitch in the 2nd, but he was out at second base after a ground out by Hunter Call. Melhoff now fouls off a pitch, count 1-1. So Melhoff, he was hit by a pitch his first time up, advanced to first, and since then he just hasn't advanced any further. 0 for 3 since, but the RBI in the 4th. The Oaks, they're leading 14-2 here in the 8th inning. The pitch to Melhoff, check swing, doesn't matter, it's called a strike, 1-2 the count. The Oaks, they scored 7 runs in the 2nd, 1 run in the 3rd, 1 run in the 4th, 1 run in the 5th. 3 runs in the 6th, and then 1 more run in the 7th. A monstrous shot from Brendan Bobo as the pitch misses away. 2-2 the count. So the Oaks, they've scored in every inning but the first inning. Batting right now, their 8th time up here in the 8th. Melhoff skies it towards left field. Coming over is Burden. He makes the catch, and Melhoff's retired. Another fly out, and it's just not been Greg Melhoff's today. But the Oaks, they're still winning by 12. So now Hunter Call, he's going to come up to the plate. He's followed by JT Naviak, who's on deck. They're the 8 and 9 hole hitters. The pitch from Navarrete almost hits Call. He ducked under it. 1-0 the count. Navarrete this season, he's pitched 6 2/3 innings. He has 3 strikeouts in those 6 2/3 innings, but an ERA of 4.05. The 1-0 to Call. Catches his own. It's a strike. Count even 1-1. Call today, he had a single and an RBI his last time up. That was in the 6th inning. Prior to that, he struck out swinging on 3 pitches, a ground out in the 3rd, but in the 2nd, he grounded into a fielder's choice. Called a strike here, 1-2. Came around to score. In that long 2nd inning, the Oaks scored 7 runs in.
So Hunter Call, he hadn't had a great day until his last at-bat, but that single, the RBI, and then coming around to score has got to help his day.
Inside to Call, count even 2-2. Yes, that RBI single, it was to right center field. He didn't pull the ball. And you
Did not pull the ball.
Did not pull the ball. It was awesome for him. 2-2 the count, 1 out. The pitch to Call. Swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. It gets past the catcher and Willis. Call's going to first. A strikeout, but a runner on first, regardless because of the drop third strike rule.
And if you get on first via drop third strike, does that ever feel good? Is that something you want to have happen?
Well, it felt good yesterday from Brendan Bobo when he struck out and 2 runs came around to score after a drop third strike.
The word from our resident baseball player, Kyle Hirth, the scouting intern who's sitting directly next to us, he says that it does not feel good when you reach base on a dropped third strike.
First pitch to JT Naviak outside, 1-0 the count. So called to first on the strikeout. It was a 5-pitch at bat, but ended in him at first base because the ball got past Willis. 1-0 the count to JT Naviak, and look at this batting stance from JT.
I'll have to get another look. I've never seen JT do this before. He's very open.
Yeah, very open. Takes a pitch inside. He may not even be trying to swing the bat.
I think he's trying something right now. I think this is something that he might be working on, might be trying to implement, and there's no better way to do it than in this 14-2 game. But now his stance has gone back a little bit more closed than it was before.
Pitch is called a strike. 2-1 the count. That was extremely open stance from Naviak, who today has reached 3 times. Scored in the 2nd on a high pop-up. He got a double off of it after the outfielders couldn't see where the ball was in the sun. Pitch is called a strike, and after starting ahead 2-0, back-to-back strikes, 2-2 the count. Walks in his last 2 at-bats, both on 5 pitches. Once in the 5th, once in the 6th. Now looks at a slider, called a strike. He goes down looking, looked at every pitch. 2 of them balls, 3 of them strikes.
And he might be in there for his defensive prowess and is just trying to avoid what happened yesterday where he ended up getting hurt after hitting a ball to the shortstop. So he might have just been trying to pass the bat and get out of that at-bat without injuring himself so that he could play defensively.
It's the Blues killer, as Logan Soferenko like to call him. It's Cody Sulak. He's pinch hitting for Austin Carrillo. First pitch to Sulak. Inside a ball, 1-0 the count.
And just going back a little bit on that JT Naviak point, Daniel Cabral, who is the other middle infielder, the other typical middle infielder, he isn't here today. So if Naviak does get hurt, then we push Smith over to shortstop and force Sulak to go into the field.
Pitch misses, 2-0 the count.
Cody Sulak, when he was at Pacific College in Washington, or in in the Northwest, in Oregon.
In Oregon, Forest Grove, Oregon.
When he was in Pacific College in Oregon, he played just catcher, but now that he committed to Crown College, he actually got on as a two-way player, so he's going to be playing both catcher and second base at Crown College.
3-0 the count as he looks at the first three pitches that are all balls. Yes, Sulak just committed to go to Crown College. It's over in Minnesota. Be playing against Kyle Hirth, our scouting intern. Hirth plays at North Central University in Minnesota. Sulak going to be at Crown College. They're both in the same conference. The 3-0 to Sulak. Called a strike on the outside part of the plate. 3-1 the count. Sulak this season, his biggest hit of the year was that bases clearing double in that 8-5 victory against the San Luis Obispo Blues July 9th. That was a .250 batting average, but an on-base percentage of .471. Swings and misses on the 3-1, and the count is full 3-0 to Sulak after starting ahead 3-0.
And he chased that last pitch. It was a juicy fastball, high and tight, but he would have walked. I'm not sure if he wants to walk, though. He might try to put his bat on the ball.
Runner goes, swing and a miss from Sulak, and that'll do it for the 8th inning. 3 strikeouts in the inning. 2 of them are credited. We head to the 9th inning, 14-2 the score. You are listening to the Conejo Oaks on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Top of the 9th inning. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Could be our final half inning of the season.
Hopefully not.
I
hope not.
I hope not. It's true. The Oaks, they're winning right now 14-2. They're going to need a little bit of help from the Santa Barbara Foresters tonight. If the Foresters win and the Oaks hang on for this victory, which we presume they will,
it would take a disastrous outing from Brandon Madrigal to do that.
It's true. Brandon Boning up at the plate. First pitch to him from Madrigal. Misses. 1-0 the count. Madrigal comes in for Aiden Garza, who got out of a bases-loaded jam last inning. Got a 6-4-3 double play. Ground out from Bo Willis. Madrigal facing off against Boning, Cobb, and Castillo, the 8, 9, and 1-hole hitters. Swing and a miss from Boning. Count even 1-1.
And so this is Madrigal's first appearance in 11 days. And I don't understand why Brandon Madrigal hasn't been in the rotation as much, with a similar reason for Eric Ma and Aiden Garza.
Swing and a miss from Boning, 1-2.
But Madrigal, he didn't have a season at Columbia. Getting on the hill for the first time with the Oaks was the first time he pitched in a game in 17 months. He had a poor performance in the non-conference play in his first few performances. Against the Crawdads, he didn't record an out and gave up 2 earned runs. That's a bad performance. But then his next performance, he pitched against the Saints, pitched 3 innings, only 1 earned run, was credited with the win. So that's a very good performance.
Pitch misses high, 2-2.
It's been the non-conference play that's killed him, as in the June 27th game against the Coastal Cubs. He gave up 4 earned runs in 2 innings pitched. But he has the 6th highest ERA in conference play on the Oaks. It isn't astounding, but it's not terrible, certainly by any means. I'm quite rather perplexed as the count runs full after the ball. Why he hasn't been in more games, especially why it's been 11 days since his last outing, because his last outing came against the OC Riptide. Granted, it wasn't the 16-4 loss, but he was the only effective pitcher as this pitch fouled off. The full count stays alive. He pitched 1 1/3 inning against the Orange County Riptide in that July 21st game. He saw 4 batters. He struck out 3 of them and got the other one to fly out. He got out all 4 of the batters he faced. Sure, he had a little bit of a poor start to his season, but that's expected when it's 17 months off the hill. I'm glad to see him back on the hill here.
It's a walk to Boning. It was a 7-pitch at bat that he fouled off a pitch with 2 strikes, but the count was full and he walks, so the leadoff man's aboard from Madrigal, and walking batters has really been the thing from Madrigal. His first outing, he walked a lot of batters. I believe he walked the first 2 batters.
So in his first 3 outings, he walked 8 batters. Since he's walked 2 batters on the entire season through 5 outings.
There you go. In a game against the Riptide on July 18th, he came in, faced 2 batters. Both of them got hits, and then he was taken out of the game. So he didn't have a single out recorded in that performance. Pulled him out after those 2 batters. But like you said, the last game, blowout game, 3 strikeouts and got 1 more out in the 4 batters he faced. First pitch to Cobb, he's going to go opposite way. That's going to drop down. Extra bases potentially. Digging for third now is Boning. The throw not going to be in time. A double for Cobb, and the Saints are swinging here in the 9th.
And so I mentioned it with Aiden Garza, and the same applies for Brandon Madrigal. When you haven't been on the hill in a while, it's a lot of pressure that comes with that not being on the hill. And it looked like an umpire was going to go talk to Madrigal, but he ended up walking past him. I thought that Madrigal had some sort of violation. He doesn't. But there's just a lot of pressure. And now after giving up 2 base runners on back-to-back pitches, it's just a lot of pressure for Brandon Madrigal on the hill, and there's so much that you feel as a pitcher on the mound, especially when you're trying to fight for innings and fight to potentially get postseason innings.
Swing and a miss from Castillo, 0-1 the count. So Cobb the double advances Boning from first to third on the walk. Because of that double, you can see Clay Rickerman, the normal closer for the Oaks. He's starting to warm up down in the pen. But
and this should be Brandon Madrigal's inning. It should be Brandon Madrigal's inning unless this game gets close.
Looked at, called a strike by Castillo, 0-2 the count. Castillo today 1 for 4. That 1 hit came in the first inning. That was a single. And since then, 2 groundouts and a flyout. Has a chance here to drive in 2 runs in this game. 2 runners in scoring position. Boning at third, Cobb at second. A swing and a miss. A 3-pitch strikeout by Brandon Madrigal. And 1 out here in the 9th.
And that pitch right there was filthy. It just dropped off the table. It was running away. And that is a great way to bounce back with a 3-pitch strikeout right there.
So Connor Bradshaw, he's going to come up to the plate now. Still 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out. Infield coming in, it looks like. They're all up against the grass. Righty versus lefty matchup. First pitch to Bradshaw. Bounces in from Madrigal, 1-0 the count. Bradshaw today 0 for 3, though he did walk in the third. That was on 4 pitches, but 2 strikeouts, 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 1st. Fly out in his last at bat. That was in the 7th inning. It's been an overall frustrating day for the Pepperdine product. Madrigal misses away, and now the count's 2-0 to Connor Bradshaw. Bradshaw and Oaks third baseman Greg Melhoff, both Pepperdine Waves. Anson Arrows, the catcher at the dish, his coach, Mark Wazakowski at Oregon, he was a Pepperdine Wave. 2-0 the count. The pitch from Madrigal. This one's jammed away by Bradshaw. It's going to go in foul territory. 2-1 now.
It's a nice response by Madrigal. 2 straight balls, goes up and in, forces a swing, and right off the hands. It's a nice pitch to get a swing and a miss. It might not have been called a strike, but it enticed Bradshaw enough. Counts 2-1.
Wind still blowing towards right field. The Oaks, they're looking to get away with a win. 14-2 the score. The 2-1 pitch, slider outside, called for a strike. That backdoor slider working for Madrigal there. 2-2 now.
And a filthy backdoor slider from Brandon Madrigal. That pitch looked like it was diving outside, and a late break right over the plate. It's a nice, well-executed pitch to get back in the count.
So 2-2 the count. 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. The pitch to Bradshaw, slider away, misses, and now the count's full from Madrigal.
And that's the trouble for Madrigal. It's the consistency on that pitch. It's the same pitch. He tried to go again with the backdoor slider. That time it didn't have the same break to it.
So Madrigal, the Columbia product, hasn't played yet in Columbia. Had to miss all of last season because the Ivy canceled their program. And now a walk as the ball gets past Arrows. Coming in to score is Boning. An earned run to Madrigal's name. The runner goes to third and Cobb. And now, runners at the corners, 1 out.
And that should have been a walk for Madrigal, but Anson Arrows needs to catch that ball. We saw it a few times today where for Bo Willis on the other side, depending on whatever pitcher, that same pitch that missed high and away that he was able to save, and that time Anson Arrows, a little casual, it hit off his glove and then deflected back. That's not a wild pitch. It's a pass ball.
So, runners at the corners. At third, you have Jackson Cobb. At first, you have Connor Bradshaw. The pitch in, lines it towards left. Coming in is Radinsky. He makes the catch. The runner is not going. They're going to play it safe. The throw from Radinsky was cut off by Melhoff. Into first safely is Bradshaw. 1 pitch, 1 out to Drew Cowley, who's retired for the first time today. And now 2 outs in the inning. So now Jake McMurray, he's going to come up to the plate. Cowley prior to that was 3 for 3 with 3 singles and a walk. But Jake McMurray, the final out for the Saints, the last hope in this 14-3 game. McMurray, 0 for 4 today. First pitch to him, swing and a miss. 0-1 the count, and you could hear the fans.
McMurray was stumbling. I didn't think that came from the dugout. McMurray was stumbling
the
back
fans.
after that pitch. Yeah, I think that came from the dugout.
Oh, really?
I think the cooing came from the dugout after Madrigal went filthy with a slider that fooled McMurray.
The 0-1. That one's looked at away. Misses. 1-1 the count. McMurray, he's had a rough day. He's grounded out. He grounded into a double play. He struck out. But has a chance for an RBI here. That RBI is Jackson Cobb at third base. 1-1 the count. 2 outs. The pitch from Madrigal. Inside. 2-1 the count now. The Oaks looking to close this game out, do their part, win today, and hope that the Foresters can beat the Riptide tonight for a chance to go to Lincoln for the playoffs. It's been an impressive day for the Oaks today. 14 runs and only given up 3 so far. The 2-1 pitch misses away, and now 3-1 the count to McMurray, so 3 straight balls from Madrigal after he got McMurray chasing on the first pitch.
Yeah, so we mentioned Madrigal. He had just 2 walks in the last 5 appearances for him, but right now 2 walks already in the inning, and he's in danger of giving up his third.
The 3-1 pitch. High, another walk from Madrigal, his third of the inning now. There's a 5-pitch walk to McMurray 4 straight balls after starting out 0-1, and the bases are juiced.
And Solis is coming out, and it looks like that's going to be the end of Madrigal's day. And I don't like disagreeing with Coach Solis, but I don't like that. I think that you got to leave Madrigal on the hill.
I think it's the right move. I think he just walked the bases loaded.
There's 2 outs. You got to get one more out. The amount of runs scored in this game doesn't matter. You have an 11-run cushion. I think you have to let Madrigal get out of his own inning.
Well, Clay Rickerman's coming out for potentially his final outing of the year. And now the bases still loaded, 2 outs. We'll be right back after the pitching change. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. New pitcher on the mound, Clay Rickerman. He comes in from Madrigal after Madrigal walked 3 batters, allowed a double. Did get a strikeout and a line out, so there are 2 outs in the inning. Madrigal, 23 pitches, is responsible for all 3 of the runners. 1 run has come in the inning. That run was Brandon Boning after his double. Josh Cowden at the plate. First pitch from Rickerman, low, 1-0.
And I said it when we went to break, but I'll reiterate and go more in depth. I don't like this move to bring in Clay Rickerman right here. I think that Brandon Madrigal, you give up 1 run. Sure, this game is a must-win, but it's an 11-run lead. Even if this guy at the plate, it's a home run, it's still a 7-run game. If you want to bring in Clay Rickerman then fine. But I think you should let Brandon Madrigal get out of his own mess. The only way that you're going to develop players in what is a developmental league is by giving them the opportunities on the hill and letting them get out of their own messes. 1 run in the inning I don't think is enough to take out Brandon Madrigal. Not in this spot. There's no way that the Oaks and Clay Rickerman give up 7 runs unanswered, even if Madrigal were somehow to give up a bases-clearing home run here. I don't like the move to bring out Madrigal.
Swing and a miss from Cowden, 1-2. So Solis goes with Rickerman after the bases loaded. 1-2 the count to Cowden, who today, he's 0 for 2, or excuse me, 1 for 3. He was 0 for 2 before last inning's single. It was his first hit in the last 5 games. Prior to that, he walked in the first. Now in a big spot here with the bases loaded, keeping the game alive, hopefully for him, as the count misses. It's 2-2 from Rickerman. Infield shifted heavily towards the right. You can see Grant Smith, the second baseman, he's standing in right field with a heavy pull to the left-hander in Cowden. Naviak, the shortstop, he's just shaded to the left side of the second base. We've seen that consistently recently. As this one skied in the air, Arrow's digging back towards the backstop. It's out of play, bounces behind us. 5 pitches now to Cowden, 2-2 the count. And Cowden this season, he's batting .285, 3 home runs, 19 RBIs. He was really, really hot Was batting over 300 consistently throughout the year. But because of that cold streak, it's really cooled off his batting average. Still an on-base percentage of .500. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Rickerman got him, and that'll do it for this one. The Oaks, they win it 14-3. A statement win in the final game here at Sparky Anderson. And the Oaks, they win the must-win game. And now, hopefully, a trip to Lincoln may be in their future, with the Foresters playing the Riptide tonight in a huge game with playoff implications. The Oaks, they now move half a game ahead of the Riptide. If the Riptide win tonight, though, then the Oaks, they're not going to Lincoln. But a huge win today, 14-3 against the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Yeah, it just was a great game all around for the Oaks. Joe Wiersma, he was fantastic on the hill. Ma and Garza, they were great in relief. And then on the offensive side of things, everyone was just fantastic. It was that big second inning, that Raul Sandoval home run. Brendan Bobo also had a home run in this game. Austin Carrillo, he reached base all 5 times he came to the plate. Anson Arrows, he reached base 4 times today. He also, the 4th time he reached base was the 11th consecutive time he got on base. That is astounding. TJ Foreman, he got on 3 for 3 with 3 hits today. I mean, just top to bottom, a fantastic day for the Oaks offensively. And so, if they are going to the playoffs, they're headed in style. The first pitch against Santa Barbara for the Orange County Riptide is supposed to be at 4:30, so that game should be starting right about now. And if the Orange County Riptide do win today, and this is our last broadcast with you, I just want to say thank you for listening with us all season. It's been an absolute blast calling this team. It's been phenomenal to watch these guys grow as players, watch these guys grow this summer, and to get to know some amazing people around the Oaks organization, and also help myself get a little bit better at some broadcasting skill, as well as being joined by you, Knight. It's been a pleasure to be with you all summer long, and I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else, so thank you.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Ryan. This opportunity to be calling Oaks baseball all summer has been a great opportunity for me. I think I've definitely grown as a broadcaster, and I've really enjoyed covering this team and being the voice of the Conejo Oaks, knowing these players, getting to tell their stories and say, hey, they're more than a baseball player. And Ryan, it's been a pleasure working with you. I feel like we've developed a really good chemistry, and we had a really good broadcast season together. And, you know, it's been an absolute blast this summer, and hopefully we're not done yet. Hopefully we're going to Lincoln. I'm still a little optimistic. The playoffs are August 4th, 5th, and 6th. I've never rooted for the Foresters before in my life, but I'm a big Santa Barbara fan here today, hoping that the Oaks can go to Lincoln.
Yeah, so the Oaks, they finished their CCL South schedule in the standings at 14-16. Currently, Orange County 13-16. They own the tiebreaker, so it all comes down to that game against Santa Barbara to see who is going to win.
Final player of the game, Anson Arrows.
Anson Arrows, I think that he deserves some recognition for that long stretch. I don't think you can go 11 for 11 in terms of your on-base percentage and not be player of the game during that stretch. Sure, he ended the day with a flyout, but today I thought he was great. There's also an argument for Brendan Bobo. That home run was huge. TJ Foreman was great. Raul Sandoval was fantastic. But I think it might even be a little retroactively for yesterday because of the back-to-back fantastic days for Arrows. But I think that he certainly deserves it this week, player of the game.
Absolutely. So, hopefully not the final broadcast of the year, but if it is, we've been having a great time calling Oaks baseball, and it's been our pleasure. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano. We'll hopefully see you guys Thursday. Let's root for Santa Barbara tonight and hope the Oaks can go to the playoffs. The Oaks win big in their final regular season game, 14-3 against the Arroyo Seco Saints.